It's already time to go live. So rather than being late and doing stuff, I could just hit the button and we could just say, "Hey, what's up?" Because I just got here too to everybody,
That's an absolutely plausible situation.
and then it's actually kind of genuine because we're not doing it like, "Oh, hey, what's up, dude? I've been talking to you for the past 30 minutes, actually." You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's a little weird doing that. Even though we were playing some games earlier and we're listening to Trump's I don't even know what you call it. Rally,
Oh,
his rally
what the
speech
hell
or
did he
whatever.
say now?
No, he was just talking at the rally that they were doing today, and someone was streaming it live, so I decided to listen to part of it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. He was pretty funny. He's still a funny guy.
Yeah, he still has his quips.
He's got it. He still got it. That's why they're so
Can't
afraid of him.
can't be said for everyone. That's
Jesus Christ, man. How long do you think Biden has till he's not in office anymore? Because what is it, like 350 something days till the next election, till the midterm election?
something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's lasted longer than I thought he would.
Well,
I
they,
thought
needed,
Yeah,
they needed him to last for 2 years, is the deal, right?
yeah.
Yeah, 2 years before she could be brought in.
But Kamala Harris is fucking less popular than Biden in some circles. Like overall, I think they're about the same, but people fucking hate that bitch.
They're both shit.
I don't know.
Do I want any harm done to either of them? No, but I wish that they were out of office.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Like you can't even like speak openly and make a joke about something like that, can you?
Nope.
Oh well.
Which, back 10, 15, 20 years ago, you could make jokes about it and, okay, whatever.
Well, I mean, people were like hanging effigies of Trump and like burning them and doing all this stuff, and no one ever got, no one blinked an eye at that.
Yeah, that was only, 3 years ago? 2 years ago?
I wonder if all the people who sent Trump like death threats and letters and whatever it was, like
it has to be a ton.
Twitter replies, did they all get investigated?
Absolutely not.
Isn't that the Department of Justice's job? If like someone's threatening the president to go over and then like investigate to see if at least like, to see what it was at least,
I
I
can't
guess
remember
when you're
the
getting
number.
so many of them. What's up?
I can't remember the number, but there's like so many threats that, occur every year against the president, and only a fraction of them actually get like fully investigated because there's so many. They have to look at the criteria and see if this person is able or willing, to do things, and then act upon that.
How many times were like, because there was assassination attempts against Trump, correct?
I don't know of any, but of course I haven't went
Yeah,
out and
there's
looked.
there's had to. I mean, we're not going to know about it, right? Same thing with Obama. There was a few, but there had to be thousands that you never heard about that they thwarted. You know what I mean?
Thousands sounds a little high, but I would believe
over 8 years,
like a dozen or so or something, maybe. I don't know.
Well, thwarted could have been a guy with a gun who wrote something on the internet who was legitimately wanted to do something, to 5 guys getting together doing something. I don't know.
All right, here we go. Wikipedia's got a list of United States presidential assassination attempts and plots, starting with Abraham Lincoln, going all the way through Donald Trump.
You want to share this?
All right. Well, it's just Wikipedia, so who knows if this is fucking true or not or whatever.
All right, it's always
who
grain of
knows if
salt,
this is
but
true as Shubanamana pressure, but
right. I mean, it's always grain of salt, but there's some truth behind a lot of stuff.
True as Shubanamana pressure. September 6, 2017, Gregory Lee Gang. That's a fucking weird name. A 42-year-old man from North Dakota attempted to assassinate President Donald Trump in mainland North Dakota. Trump was visiting North Dakota for a public support rally. Blah, 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 blah. November 2017, a man affiliated with the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant ISIL, he's an ISIL member, whose name was not revealed, was arrested by the Philippine National Police in Rizal Park, Manila. Thank you. For reportedly planning to assassinate President Trump during the diplomatic ASEAN summit. Okay. So there's at least 2 documented on Wikipedia. Who has the biggest one? We got Taft has a... Oh, I guess it's only 1 bullet point. Who has the most bullet points? Nixon has 3. Clinton, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clinton had 6 attempts. Obama had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Obama had 7.
They
Again.
threw that shoe at George Bush Jr. And look, if you watch that video,
that was great.
Yeah, he like dives.
He like dodges it and comes right back at the dude. And like, Secret Service took a minute. That's a the guy got 2 shoes on him.
Yeah, because they were like, "Who throws a shoe?" Honestly,
Didn't someone throw a shoe? Didn't someone throw a shoe at Hillary Clinton or something like that too?
Oh, I would be surprised at that.
It was someone from a press meeting, I think, and she was like in front of the microphone, and then someone, I forget what it was. They threw like a shoe or like a fucking can or.
I'm sure
something.
they committed suicide within 24 hours.
Well, the funny thing was like the way she didn't dodge it, she just like ducked her head, put her hands up over her like the sides of her eyes, like so I can only see forward kind of thing, you know. And then like scurried forward like a creature from a tunnel. Some sort of cave creature.
That's the lizard people taking over.
Yeah.
That's that lizard mind. So she just looked at it.
Raw Feeding 101 dropped in $5. Said, "What's up, brosifs? What's up, dude? How you doing? How's your night going? Hope everybody out there is doing well tonight. Just chilling over here. I'm drinking a little coffee with Bailey's and whiskey.
I am
sounded good.
About a half bottle deep, and I'm wondering if I should get another one or what.
I don't know, something about coffee with Bailey's, and then you spice it up a little bit with a little extra like Irish whiskey or whatever you got, you know.
Like, I'm thinking, man, that coffee just does sound good. I may have to just make some.
It is good. It's delicious. It's a good way to start the morning if last night didn't go too well.
Morning? Like,
yeah.
If I drink it, I'll still be in bed in an hour and a half. I'm one of those people that I could drink a pot of coffee and go to bed.
It wakes me up as much as I need it to, but I can go to sleep after I drink coffee for sure. Sometimes It's weird. Coffee has like the opposite effect on me.
I'm going to go on mute and make some. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves.
Like I'll be tired, so I'll make some coffee and then I'll start drinking it, and then I'll get halfway through a cup of coffee and I'm like, I need to take a nap now. Like this coffee's not doing it. I don't know what it is, dude. Daniel says, "Got the Rona light. This shiz is basically a cold." I'm pretty sure I caught the Rona light too. It was all in my throat, and so I had some throat issues that I kept having to gargle with mouthwash and shit and clear out the back of my throat, but it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, I've had a couple people at work that have got it, and like they've gotten it. This is their second time, and they're like, "Yeah, it's not nearly as bad as the first." Like, it's always either in their throat or like their sinus cavity,
their nose holes.
What's up, fellas?
The nose orifices.
How do you do, good sir?
Oh, I'm wonderful. Thanks for having me on. What are we talking about?
I don't even know. How about top 5 gimmick guns?
Oh, yeah. What do you got?
I got nothing really. I mean, zip gun would be on my list.
Does that new Hellion fit the bill, or is that not allowed?
Sure. Like that single shot 7.62 39 fucking pistol. Have you seen that one?
Yep. It's kind of got a soft spot in my heart, but at the same time, I've seen a review on it, and it's like, bro, stop that.
What do they call it? The pocket AK?
Yeah, everyone I know that
Exactly, but it's
shot them, they suck. Like they like the cartridges, no matter what you fire, stick in them, and like
Yeah.
they
thank
lock
you.
them up after one shot. Like I've known
Yeah.
a couple people that have owned them and shot them, and they're like, yeah, they suck.
There's like no point. It's the gun that's like, they're like, I think I heard you say it best the other night. They were so busy worrying about if they could, they didn't think about whether they should. And such a fucking flawed design. That's like, the premise is there. That's like, oh yeah, man, you get fucking pocket carry, an AK round. But at the same time, like you said, who the fuck wants a one-shot gun that you literally could just, after that, you would have to toss at your enemy?
I mean, it's a Derringer, so it's like, it's basically a holdout. Like there's one-shot Derringers, whatever. That concept I don't mind, but it's the fact that like it doesn't work and it like locks up your gun. Like you can't even have fun at the range with it because they just made it so cheaply.
I'd rather have two shots of either 38 or 357 Magnum, I think, in a Derringer than that.
Oh, I agree, but see, it'd be cool if they had made it like if they had made it like a side by side or a double, like a stackable, like even make it a little taller or something. Like that would have been cool, but yeah.
Would have been really cool if they could have figured out a way to fucking make that son of a bitch reload. Whew. Like a fucking Desert Eagle.
Yeah.
But like with a really big grip on it. Would have had to have finger grooves for sure, I feel like. Or like bowling ball finger holes or something.
Single shot pistol that you convert to semi-auto that takes AK mags. That's what you want.
Bolt action 7.62x39 Deagle sized pistol.
Stephen Carroll said won a 22 on the broker for 1 cent, which is fun. That's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
Until you factor in shipping and transfer, which is less fun. Well, still, dude, even if it's like maximum shipping, they charge you like $50 or something, and then your transfer is like $50. You're still paying $100 for fucking.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. If you paid $100, that is still as good as paying $1, in my opinion. But because the point I guess I'm trying to make is that all 22s pretty much cost you like $400. So I wonder what 22 we actually got for. Somewhere we'll say between $1 and $400. Sure,
yeah, you can still get used like 22 rifles and shit for pretty cheap, but
it's probably like a Marlin Model 60 or something. That's probably really only like a $60 to $120 value.
Or some like random like old school bolt action 22 or something. Yeah,
I bet it was a 702 Plinkster because those things go
either
for
way.
Like
it sounds like a great.
Those things go for like $110 anyway. You know what I mean?
Cherish that motherfucker.
I wonder what it was, though. Daniel says, for $5, thank you, good sir. Did you see the Halliburton sticker I posted on Discord? Pretty sure they're hinting about the aliens. Yeah, I did see that, actually. I didn't realize that was their fucking trademark logo, or I don't know what you call it, their mascot. But it's basically a UFO. It looks like a fucking UFO. There's like a globe in the middle, and then there's a ring around it. I think they're trying to say like, oh, this is the planet, and this is the ring around the planet, because it's obviously, if you look at it, it's the Earth in the middle. But the way the ring around it makes it look is like a 1950s typical TV movie, whatever, fucking UFO, flying saucer. So very interesting. Raw Feeding 101 says, panel best gun cabinet location in the home.
In the
cabinet?
In the same room you sleep in. For a cabinet.
Or are we saying, because like gun cabinet to me means either like, that's like a glass display as a gun cabinet, right?
Definitely not directly in front of the window. I just want to say that. Maybe put up some curtains.
See, this is a gun cabinet to me. Make the picture big.
probably don't ever have anybody over like ever again.
No, like I used to go over to a buddy's house whose dad was into guns, and he had like
I was just kidding.
he had like his expensive like on display guns in the gun cabinet in the front room next to the fireplace with the deer heads and everything else, you know.
My grandfather had one of those. Except
But
it
that's
was
not-
like 3 or 4 times the width of that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, this is just like a basic bitch cheap one. You know what I mean?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm thinking of back in the 80s, like you were talking about. It was cool. He had a big cabinet in there, and there was all kinds of rifles and revolvers and I think he may have had a 1911 was the semi-auto that he had at the time.
My old man used to have a bunch of those like back in the 90s and shit. Like that's what he just had. Like all our guns and stuff were in like he had a room with just a couple of them lined on the wall and stuff with like other decorations and shit in there. And yeah,
I mean, a good place would be like in your man cave. Like, especially like for me, that would be a good thing to get for like the background of the YouTube channel while I'm doing live chats. Have like a glass cabinet with different guns on display on the inside that you can see in the background that you can easily access. It's not just a fucking gun safe behind me, but it doesn't offer you much in the way of like theft protection, fire protection.
No.
Like,
No,
it keeps kids
I
out
think
of it.
we were looking at this wrong. Maybe it depends. Maybe the guy already has a safe and he wants a display cabinet because he oftentimes will have more than one firearm out at a time, and he needs a place to just like, you know what I'm saying, like police up his guns, where it's like he's sick of like having a gun in the corner or getting ready to fall over all the time, and he just wants a fucking like a gun cabinet next to somewhere where he can just, like you said, like, you know, where he watches TV or whatever in that room, wherever he does his gunsmithing and cleaning and whatever else. It's like maybe he just wants a gun cabinet to have some additional storage.
I would say don't put it in your living room.
I was going to say, if you live in this place permanently, maybe think about, instead of getting like a gun cabinet, maybe think about getting a fucking gun rack that mounts on the wall, like one of those $70 racks you can get off of like eBay or something, you know, the steel rack that's like rubber lined. And it kind of has like a pawn shop feel once you fucking throw that son of a bitch up on the wall. But you just mount it to some studs,
No, dude,
and
he
it's
got
really
it for $25 and he needs a place to put it.
Or if you do that, just make sure there's no ammo for those ammos sitting out.
yeah.
Oh, I just, like I said, once again, meant like if you have firearms out and you just don't want to have them set on like against the wall, you go, I mean, like that's a great solution compared to a gun cabinet. Yeah, I definitely would rather you get like an actual gun safe for your guns, but
Well,
it's all personal choice.
It's better than it'll keep the kids out of it. Like if you have kids in the
Yeah.
house, it will
Yeah.
keep your kids away from having your guns in their possession. Legally,
Until they
good
see
parent.
It will be
zombies
good
and they
enough for
break the
that.
glass. Until
And
they
that's
see
fine.
zombies and they break the glass for, you know, in case
That's
of zombies.
great. Like I would want them to be able to get through the glass to get to the guns if there were
Yeah.
zombies. So that's actually preferential. The thing that it doesn't help you with, again, is anyone else who wants to get to your shit. You know? So I guess you have to weigh the like, where do you live at? Who do you want to have over? Like, because sometimes, like, you might want to have someone over to your house, but you don't know who they are, and now they know that you have shit, and then you find out later that they're not a good guy, you know? Like,
The
that kind of shit
dishwasher
happens.
repairman.
Exactly. So I'd want to have it somewhere, because obviously something like that is for display, but you don't want to display it to everybody. So I was saying not in your living room.
Yeah, I gave my buddy one of those gun lockers, stack-on gun cabinet locker. You know what I'm talking about? One of the double door lockers where it's like shelving on one side and you can stick your rifles on the other
Yeah.
side. I had one of those before I actually got a gun safe. And like a good friend, I gave it to a friend of mine. And now years later, the gun community has changed. And it's like, bro, that's a pretty expensive locker I gave you there. But he mounted that sumbitch in his closet to the studs. It's very secure. He's able to fucking like, you know, he has shirts and suits and shit hung up in his closet. He's an older gentleman. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm happy with what he did because at the time he had kind of younger grandchildren where they were, we'll just say into that age where I thought it was a safe bet to give him something where he could lock it up and he didn't have to worry about his grandchildren.
Well, this is basically what I used to have, like an 18 gun locker.
Yes. I had that,
And
but the
then you
double
can,
door
and then
version
you
of
can
that.
take that shit and fucking, like, I had it in the basement, so it was on concrete. So I used concrete nails and nailed it to the floor. And when I was moving out, like, I couldn't get those fucking nails out, so I had to cut them to get it out. But Like, you're
That
not
makes
getting
sense.
that shit off of the ground without significant effort unless it's already
Yeah.
open and you can get to those things to cut them. So
That's why he put it in the closet mounted to the studs with the clothes like that, because he thought it was multiple layers of security, like you said, because he claimed that it's like in that location it was such a bitch to work on against the wall, but he was like, if you can get it down on the ground or get it out of there, that's easy pickings. But he was just, according to him, he thought the position it was in was the hardest position. And like I said, that fly-by-night thief had to have fucking known what was in his closet, I guess, or they have to go for that closet.
Right.
And now, like I said, they had to have brought tools to somehow get that off of the wall to begin with, just to do the break-in, because it, you know what I mean? The
well, the
nature
safe
of
itself,
breaking
it's
into
not
that.
even a safe. Like,
Yeah,
empty,
it's just a locker.
you can pick this shit up with your left hand fucking covered in grease. Like, it's fucking super light. Like, there's nothing to them.
20 pounds or
And
something like
if
that.
you
Oh,
if
yeah,
you
but-
were, if your whole goal was to just get inside of it, like, all you would need is an axe or some sort of like wheel grinding
Sure.
tool, and you'd be inside of it within minutes. You wouldn't even have to get it off the wall.
That's
So
where
there's that
layered
aspect of
security
it, too.
approach comes in handy.
And then the other
You
thing
have a-
about
you have
them is, Jesus
go on.
Christ. The other thing about it is, in a fire, something like this just turns into an oven. So it's going to cook everything inside of there, dude. So any wooden parts, any plastic parts on your guns, melted, burned up, gone. Any ammo shot off, fired, done. Any like valuables, money, cash, anything like that, burned away, done. So they're not really good for fires. But Daniel dropped in $2, says governments are getting their share of supers now. Really? You guys know about this? Anybody?
Government gets share of supers.
Like super chats? I'm assuming.
I have no idea.
Oh, it's the new change for the internet, like eBay. If you do more than $600 in business on eBay, they're gonna send you
The 1099.
the 1099 or whatever that is. Whatever
That actually passed?
Yeah, so everybody's freaking out on
Oh,
for
fuck.
eBay, and that's gonna change a lot of things, I guess, because all that stuff. I'm very disappointed that passed.
I claimed the money that I made off YouTube last year on my taxes.
I don't understand that.
I mean, I got a fucking 1099 from whoever the fuck it is.
YouTube?
Well, it's not YouTube. It's whoever pays you. So it's the company within a company that's a company that does company things.
Gotcha.
But it doesn't matter. Yeah, for super chats. They charge sales tax now. They charge sales tax is what he's talking about.
Sales tax for that? It's a service.
Whatever. It's fine.
No, it's
I don't
not
know, man.
fine.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to fucking, like, stand up and make something happen? Like, I don't know, dude. Like, this whole country's already fucked. We're on a sinking ship, and you're worried about the fucking sheets on the bed. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I mean, in the terms of Titanic, we are on the back of the ship watching it go straight down.
I don't think we're there yet.
I think we hit the iceberg.
Oh yeah, we definitely hit the iceberg. But the thing is we don't know who's going to be getting on the bed, the headboard, and who's not.
I think we've hit it, and people are still at the party and dinner.
Oh, I'm throwing that bitch off the door. I'm hopping on that door.
Kicking that bitch off of it, whatever her name was.
Rose.
Name that quickly.
I just watched it. Recently.
You just watched that shit, dude? Is it good?
He paused it in certain scenes.
I remember honestly not really liking it very much.
When I saw it originally, I went with my grandpa and my Russian uncle, and he was like, "No, you not look at this scene. You're too young, Anne. You're too young." So that was ruined. But no, I watched it again. It was on one of the streams.
So the first time I ever saw that movie, remember back in the day, like if you were on a really long airplane flight, they would pull down the screen in like the middle of the aisle, and they'd like have a projector and it'd be playing a movie. So first time I ever saw that movie was on an airplane on my way to Alaska to go on a cruise, and like the first day on the cruise, and I was like 9. They're going through the itinerary of like what we're gonna do and everything. They're like, oh yeah, on day number 4, if you want to wake up at 4 a.m. to go see the icebergs, and I'm like freaking out because I just saw this movie. Yeah, great times.
It's like flying to California to go to the beach for the first time, and the in-flight theater movie is Jaws.
I thought there was like a rule for the airlines; they're not supposed to show like any disaster films. It's supposed to be like
dude,
a big no-no or something.
Well, I mean,
what's like a really good movie about a fucking like airplane hijacking or something?
Yeah.
You know?
Snakes on a plane. Snakes on a plane.
Con Air, baby.
Yeah, like featuring Con Air on your flight to Hawaii. Man, I want to. My brother got married. He got married in Hawaii, and like, not everybody, but everyone who could flew out there, including myself. That was the longest flight I'd ever been on. This was back in the days when I still smoked cigarettes. So the thought of being awake on a flight trapped with other people for 12 hours without the ability to absorb nicotine into my bloodstream was kind of like a terrifying thought. And my solution was rather simple. You know those spitless chewing tobacco? Have you guys ever seen this shit? It's the weirdest thing you've ever seen. They're like fucking those. It's like those packets of chewing tobacco, that the pouches, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like those, but it's got like this extra chemical shit in it that like absorbs and keeps you from like juicing up, or I don't know if it's got something on it that makes your like saliva not like juice like it would normally when you have chew in your lip. And you can just pop one of those in. It's like smoking like 2 cigarettes. You know what I mean? So like, I brought like a little 10-pack of those with me and hopped on the plane and we were good. The way back, I did not have any of those. So it was kind of a problem. But thankfully I had like drank enough the night before and like partied the whole time that we were in Hawaii that the flight back, I basically slept the whole time. I forgot how we got on the subject. Oh yeah, the movie. That's what it was. Oh, what movie was it? Fuck. I watched the intro to the movie and I fell asleep before I could, like, the fucking movie even got going. That's the best way to fly, dude. Hungover as fuck, tired as fuck. So when you get to that chair, it doesn't matter how uncomfortable it is, it's comfortable enough, you know?
And you're out. Absolutely.
Daniel's talking. Yep, snooze is what it was called. Snooze. Titanic was the top 100 greatest movies ever made.
I don't know why.
Like it, man.
Everyone kind of knew how it was going to end.
I don't think there's any evidence of gunfire inside of the Titanic.
No, you don't know how it's going to end because you think it's going to end with just the ship sinking, not an extra 45 minutes on the back end about some old lady then tossing a diamond into the ocean.
Yeah, what the fuck is that about? Like, you got enough so that your grandchildren can never work in your hand, and you're just going to throw it into the ocean like a dumb fucking cunt? Fuck you.
And the thing is like, she carried that through World War I, World War II, the Great Depression.
I was going to say the Depression, yep.
Bullshit.
Like, financial collapses, like, yeah, exactly.
Well, even if she did, why would she hang on to it for that long? So that she, you know, like, who knows if you're going to make it to 104 or whatever you are in this movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that, like, in case I ever go back to the ocean where the boat sank, so that I can think about how the depths of my heart are different than any man can ever know, and women are deep and mysterious like the ocean. And that's where I'm going to throw this jewel.
for some dude I shacked up with, you know,
Once.
one time 6
Full-
years ago.
for a guy you knew for what 4 or 5 days.
What does your husband think about this trip on the boat? To go
He's
see
dead. I
Titanic?
think Grandpa died.
So she's like, every dude she knows just dies. Is this the deal? She just outlives everybody.
Well, she waited till
Well, I mean-
Grandpa died that she wanted to relive, that last fling she had.
Did she kick him
Or
off
the first fling she had.
Yeah,
kick him off of the fucking the door, the wooden door too?
she probably did. There's not enough room. We're in a house. There's no water. Let go. I'm still alive.
Starts
Not
drowning
for
him in the
long.
bathtub.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just splashing him in the.
It's a
Pouring
pool.
salt on
Don't
him.
put your feet down.
There's like putting ice cubes in it. Fucking bitch.
It's a
Yeah.
it's a sunny July day. It's 115 out.
Well, diamonds wouldn't be worth much anyway if it wasn't for De Beers like
Yep.
hoarding
Hoarding it.
everything. How is that allowed to happen? I guess it's because it's an international company, so somehow they can control it internationally. And whenever there's
Monopolies.
like a new diamond mine that's found, they just pay them so much money for their diamond mine that you can't even you just sell it, I guess. I don't know. Justin Grimm says,
Ironic.
oh, good.
I was gonna say ironic that Leonardo DiCaprio has starred in 2 movies that were kind of centered around diamonds.
It's true. Blood Diamond. Decent movie, but
I didn't see that one.
it was decent.
It's fun.
Justin Grimm said, do your PSA shit ship yet? Yes. It is at the gun shop. It has been there since yesterday morning. No, I do not have it yet because I need a new gun shop because they're pissing me off. There's always this dude, Adam. Fuck you, Adam. Every time I call the fucking gun store to see about, because I'll have something shipped to them here and there, and that's usually where I have it done because they're on file with everybody because they're a bigger gun store locally and all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. Every time I call to be like, hey, is my stuff in? It's Adam on the phone. And Adam is an asshole, and I don't like Adam. And every time I go in there, he's like that know-it-all gun store dude who's just annoyed with life and everyone's done. He's got that fucking chip on his shoulder, that fucking energy about him. And I know that I can't be the only person who goes into this place who's dealt with Adam and walked away feeling somewhat negative about the situation.
I didn't.
It's gotten to the point where I almost want to go to a different gun store just because of this motherfucker. But I want to tell the owner of the store, who I've been going to since 2011, I think was the first time I bought something from these guys. So I've been going to them for 10 years now, I want to tell them why they're losing 10 years of business because Adam.
I would.
The problem is here you don't have a leg to stand on, unfortunately, because you're FFL transferring, and for some reason that's looked down upon in the gun community because you're not supporting the gun shop. Guess what? You're fucking paying them at least $35 to check your goddamn gun in, do the fucking paperwork, do your background check, and send you on your fucking way. It could be $50. It could be $75. And California, they're getting. Hey, I digress. I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy that it's bro, you're still paying that gun shop. You're still supporting their. You know what I'm saying? You're paying their employees to do perform a service for you, but for some reason everybody frowns down as, you're not supporting the gun shop.
I don't think people are doing that if you go to another local gun shop. I know. I mean, I'm saying
that's
if
why
you
the
go
gun
to
store people are being a snob like that because they think that you're not supporting them. And guess what? You're fucking paying that fucking dude to be a snob. It's horrible.
Well, the thing is
there's
that
a lot of hypocrisy that goes around.
That gun shop is probably making more off that transfer than if you would have walked in there and bought it from them directly.
Maybe not. That's not the point.
They told you they need 24 hours to check it into their books, and they'll get a hold of you. And sorry for the wait and the inconvenience. That's totally different. But like you said, if you're having a repeat customer experience, that ain't right. And like I said, when you say something, they go, you're just an FFL transfer guy. What do we care? Even on more.
Well, it's not so much what he says; it's how he says it. You know what I mean? He's
yep.
Rather than being hey, like, really sorry about that, man. Like, we got a ton of stuff going on right now. We got like a bunch of guns that we still haven't checked in. Yours is one of them. As soon as we can get it checked in, I will give you a call personally, and we will make sure that we get it to you as soon as we can. But it's going to be a minute. Sorry about that. That would be one thing. But he does this thing where he's like, "Well, we're really busy, and we try to get everything checked in within 24 hours, but it can take up to 3 business days for us to do it. So you're just going to have to be patient." Like, thanks a lot, fucking Adam. You fucking cock-smoking fucking piece of shit. I want to kick you in the fucking teeth. I want to fucking take your little fucking scrawny little neck and fucking strangle it when I see you. Every time I see you now. But I'm not going to do that because, you know. Hey, it's Ray Ray.
Hey.
You should definitely talk to the owner.
Well, I mean, if you guys remember a couple of months back, I had another very similar experience with the gun shop where I was talking about not using them anymore. Do you guys remember that? I remember it.
What happened?
Remembers.
What happened?
I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's just the repeatedness of this thing. I got my Palmetto State Armory gun shipped to the gun shop where I usually have shit shipped to, and I have continually had a problem with a particular employee having attitude with me and not getting to shit that, like, I feel like they do other stuff before mine, and, you know, like, this guy's blowing me off is what it feels like. I don't know if that's what's actually going on, but this guy's a fucking cocksucker in my opinion. Like, I don't like him. I mean that in, like, the worst way, not the good way. The cocksucker part.
See, I never understood a cocksucker being a negative because everyone wants their cock sucked.
Yeah, but do you want to be the one? I mean, maybe. Never mind.
You're asking the wrong person.
Yeah, I digress. We're talking about he's using the wrong language here in a negative condensation. However you put it. What he's fucking talking about is just an asshole that works at a gun shop. Yeah, I mean, that's a difficult situation because when you go to complain about him, you know that fucking dude is going to be there. And one thing you could do is make a phone call to the gun store owner. Or another thing you could do is do your FFL transfer, wait for this little dick to be a dick with you, and then say, you know what, man, I've had enough wonderful customer experience from you. Can I talk to the owner? Where's he at? And just be polite with him and just let him know that I don't appreciate the attitude I've gotten here, and I'm not going to come back. I'll spend my dollars elsewhere. I appreciate the service I've gotten.
Well, the thing is, there's a million gun shops around in the Denver metro area that I could drive to, that I could shop from. Every time I go there, even though, like, I've only bought a couple guns from them, I think 2 or 3. Usually I do a transfer, but I bought 2 or 3 guns from them. Every time I go there, I'm buying magazines, I'm buying ammo, I'm buying a red dot, I'm buying a sling. You know what I mean? Like, I'm buying something from them every time. So it's not just like, oh, well, this guy is just a transfer. Blah, 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 blah. Like, no, dude, every time I come there, I'm spending like $200. Like, fuck off, dude.
And which probably half of it is.
If I transferred.
Good.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, about half that's probably pure profit if it's on that stuff.
Right, which is exactly what they want you to do, you know? So I'm hooking them up as far as I'm concerned.
I tend to do that. If I FFL transfer, I try to buy some cleaning stuff because I know I'll need cleaning stuff in the future. Or, like you said, magazines. If you only have 1 or 2, get you some extra magazines.
I think it's a power thing. People like that. It's the same thing with if you talk to somebody, you know, a lot of people, you know, this guy probably got picked on. It goes pretty deep, and he spends his days telling people to relax and to wait on him. And he probably gets off on it. So there's people like that.
Like one day I was there, same motherfucker starts yelling at this guy and kicks him out of the store because he said that he smelled like weed, right? Which, okay, you're in a gun shop. Maybe you shouldn't get high right before you go to the gun shop, you know, and come in smelling like weed. But the thing was, he walked right by me as he was leaving.
He did
I
not
know
smell
what
like
weed smells like. He did not smell like weed.
Are you sure you know what weed smells like?
And the guy was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I'm not high. I was not smoking weed. You're fucking crazy. Like, I'm just here to shop.
See, I've been so fucking like high out of my mind in a shop where they will throw you out for smoking weed, watching them throw other people out for weed while they don't notice that I'm high or smell like weed. I'm like, I don't know what's up with that.
I mean, maybe it's just they didn't like the cut of his jib.
Maybe.
Something about his t-shirt.
I don't think anyone can really smell weed when they don't smoke it. That's my theory.
Oh, you can smell it. It smells pretty distinct. Unless you just... Okay, like, my parents didn't know what it smelled like.
That's my thing, is I think most people that don't smoke it don't know what that distinct smell is. I don't know.
But anyone who
It's
went
like
to
gun
who
shop
lived in a
people
college
never-
dorm or whatever, like anyone who went to a high school in Colorado knows what it smells like, even if they never actually smoked it, you know?
That's true. I just don't understand there's gun shops here in Oklahoma that are exactly like what you described. I'm thinking of one right now where like they will throw people out because they quote unquote smell like weed. And I'm like, I think that's just them doing that because they don't like the way that person looks or acts or whatever. It's a convenient excuse.
Well, I do like this place is the thing. And like I know the owner, like
Yeah.
I've talked to him several times. Like when I first started doing YouTube, I never followed through with it, so it's my fault, not his. But I like asked him if I could set up an interview for my YouTube channel to talk about running a gun store and ask him some questions about what he thought about this and that. And he was willing to do it. And like all I had to do was just like set up a time and come in. I just never fucking did. But like he was a cool guy, you know, and like his son don't like him quite as much, but you know, like the dad's cool, and like other people who work at the shop besides Adam are cool. But Adam, who seems to be on the phone every time I call, like I cannot seem to call this place and talk to someone who's not Adam, even though there's like 10 people who work there.
That might be his number one priority.
No, but it's not, because every time I go there, he's like in the middle of everything. He just likes to be like, oh, there's a phone call, I'm grabbing it. Oh, there's a person, I'm talking to them. Oh, there's a thing. And that's why he's always fucking like annoyed, because he's always trying to do the next thing, which maybe from a point of view is like, whoa, that's a good employee. But from another point of view, it's like, bro, if you're going to be fucking short and annoyed with everybody, like it's worse for the company because you're dealing with everybody. I don't know, man. I work in customer service, and there are times where you have to just know how to fucking ice skate. And
some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill.
How was that Dragon Man tour? Didn't you do a Dragon Man video? I think I watched a long time ago.
What about Dragon Man?
Oh, I was trying to ask, how was that tour? I was going to go see it last time I went to visit family there.
Oh, highly recommended.
We went to book the tour. Well, we went to book the tour, and they said there was going to be 70 people on the tour, and I was like, nah, good.
Doesn't matter. Do it anyway.
You went, though.
There was like 70 people on the tour when I went, and I'm trying to tell you that yes, do it, dude. Yes, 100%.
I'll do it next
Worth
time.
it.
I
100%.
totally backed out when I heard that. Thank you.
100% do it, because like
I've always wanted to go. That is such a dream of mine.
100% do it because it's fucking amazing, dude. Jesus Christ, is there like a delay here going on?
No,
I'm trying to have a conversation.
No,
with
he's just an asshole.
You don't like when I talk to you.
No, I mean I'm like waiting for an opportunity to talk, and then I start speaking a sentence, and then you're talking again, and then I'm like, okay, I'll wait for you to be done.
That
and
happens.
I'll try to talk, and then
I'm not sure what happened.
So you just did it again. Did you see that?
This has to be a technical issue. I think he has some sort of lag where he can't.
It's got to be. It's got to be. It's all good. Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, dude, that place, like, it's gargantuan, and like you get through like World War I, and then you go to World War II, and then Korea and Vietnam, and like Iraq, Afghanistan. You go all the wars. You go through all the fucking different uniforms that people wore, and like all the guns and weird shit, and like spotlights and mounting stuff for horses, and here's like a kitchen from World War II that they would set up in the field, and like how it worked, and like all that shit. And when you're like, holy fuck, dude, how much more could there be? Then you get to the vehicles, and there's like, I don't know, it's like 150 vehicles or something like that have been fully restored, that are all military surplus, like used from, like he's got like the fucking first Ford or whatever, or Dodge or whatever that was ever built for the army.
what does he do to be able to afford that? That's why I'm kind of wondering.
He
Yeah,
had
man.
a company rebuilding motors and doing hot rods and like
okay.
motorcycles and stuff. So like custom work and mechanical work and all that stuff.
Cool.
But yeah,
That
like
makes sense. The Dragon Man bike.
and I don't know like if he's just got like deals that he can get from people because they know who he is and that's how he's gotten so much stuff, or how he got started. Like he bought stuff like us. Like he was like us back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
But just had more money to spend on it or something, to the point where his wife was like, "You have so much stuff, you need to start a museum." And he was like, "Okay." Like
So I've never sold anything to him in particular, but there are a bunch of people that, like me, go around looking for weird shit at good prices and have a Rolodex and phone numbers. So I imagine he probably has a few people like me that he knows.
well, and from what he was saying, like more and more of the World War II vets are dying every day. Like they're just getting really, really old. So the ones that are left are like, you know,
Yeah.
it was like 60 a day or something like that is what he was saying right now. And people are going up into the attic of Grandpa's house and finding a fucking case of stuff that's been gathering dust for 100 years. Not literally, but you know.
Well, I mean, almost.
And then he also said that he pays for a spot in some magazine that he gets a lot of stuff from. But yeah, I don't know, man. Years of working on that shit to get to the point where he's at. And I'm sure as much as he has on display, he's probably got a good portion of it that's not even on display. You know,
I
it's just
guarantee
like,
you, just by watching his videos and shit that I've seen of him, he is a scrounge. Like he is out there grinding, working for every bit of this shit, trying to find it at the best price. That's like what he gets off on. He could give a shit about the collection, probably. I think he likes the hunt.
well, and the other thing that'll do is like for uniforms, right? Like he'll make friends with the guys on the base because there's dudes on the base that are not far from there in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
And when they get out, he'll be like, "Yo, I'll trade you an AR-15 for your uniform." Like, all right, fuck it. Like, have my uniform. I want an AR-15. So like AR-15 because he owns a gun shop too on site. Probably doesn't cost him very much, you know. Like honestly,
Give him a Smith & Wesson.
yeah. Give him an M&P 2 Sport.
PSA Freedom Line. Just assembles it on site.
What's the cheapest AR-15 you can build right now?
It's got to be
PSA stuff.
PSA stuff or that place that you like, Delta Team.
Delta Team always beats PSA by a slim margin,
They do it by having shittier parts, though.
but I don't know at what
Radiant
cost
thing.
that is. You know what I mean? Like exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, but if you go to, like, let's say you go to PSA and say, "Hey, I want 500 rifles," I guarantee they'd be getting you a decent discount.
Can I get a Mosin crate of rifles?
Foose, I had a thought, like a brain experiment for you. Let's say that we were going to equip a boat with guns, like complement of small arms. What
Mhm.
rifles, pistols, and shotguns and shit would you choose?
What kind of boat are we talking here?
I don't know, some sort of crazy exploration vessel where we can show Duke to the aliens.
So
Like 50-foot boat, 100-foot boat?
well, I definitely have a belt fed 50 cal.
See, that's where my mind went to.
Yeah, I'd have at least one of those, a couple 308s.
Honda's question is
Belt
pertinent,
fed.
though, because if it's like a destroyer, we need bigger guns than a 50 cal.
But do you? Because in
Where
no,
are we exploring too is the other
Well-
question. Like, are you going up the Nile or are
I don't
you
know.
like in the open seas? Like, where are we going?
today's modern world,
I think we're
No.
overthinking it.
Well, I would want an anti-aircraft gun on top, right? I want one of those fucking automatically aiming ones that the military has with the fucking AI built into it and shit, so it automatically
Cool.
senses when
Oh,
shit's coming in.
the mean R2D2, yeah.
See, the thing that made me think of this was I was watching a Forgotten Weapons video, and he had a gun that was like, this is the gun from the USS blank that was some science vessel or some shit. And they had like a full complement of small arms on board. And I'm like, I don't know what the modern version of that would be.
Well, I mean, I think most ships that go in dangerous waters potentially carry fucking something, right?
Well, like Navy ships still carry M14s and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What did they use against the fucking I forget
Water
what it
cannons.
was. What was that movie where they had to like fucking snipe the guy on the boat who was like holding hostages because they
I'm the captain.
Yeah, that one. The Somali pirates.
It was
What do they use?
30
What do they
cal
use to
something.
snipe the Somalis? Is my question.
It was a 30 cal something probably. Maybe 338.
I was just thinking it would be cool that if you had a boat like that to like equip the armory, you get to choose what goes in it.
You want a 5-inch cannon on the front. Something. I don't know.
I'll come back when I figure out what kind of boat we're buying.
No, I think
HBO Matt dropped in $2 and says, Ukraine is ticking clock now. Russia false flag soon. I feel like we're on the precipice of World War III.
Do you think anyone's really going to step up to Russia and say you can't have Ukraine?
Dude, I really think we're on the precipice of World War III as well. I was watching some shit about World War I the other night, and them talking about the conditions that led to World War I reminded me so much of where we are right now. It's not even funny.
The problem is everyone's got thermonuclear weapons now.
Yeah.
Which I really don't think people are going to send them.
Well, you say that until your side's losing.
True. But then, well, if you send it against another country that also has them, you're going to... Then that other side's going to send it back to you, and you're going to be gone anyway.
I think a limited tactical nuclear exchange is inevitable if we have another world war.
Well, I'm saying, like, let's say America and China are at war. China's winning. Right? You don't think America's going to be like, fuck you, bitch, send the nukes and, like, damn the consequences. We got facilities for our people and for our stuff. We're just going to go underground while they retaliate, and we'll come out and, you know, like, salvage what we can from what's left afterwards.
I think it depends exactly who we're talking about and exactly the situation. But if it's the U.S. versus China, like, I think if we'd made that decision, we would destroy the entire fucking planet. So I don't think we would do that easily.
And I don't like. I don't think we would lose to China because they still can't get here.
Yeah, if anything, like, they should be kind of afraid of us. We've conducted 2 wars simultaneously on the opposite side of the planet.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but all those people are dead and gone by now, probably.
I'm pretty sure China's gearing up for war right now. Whether or not they're ready for it today is irrelevant, because it is going to happen, and when it happens, they will be ready for it because they're the ones who are going to be instigating.
I've been saying that for years, and I think the only answer to that is to attack them sooner rather than later. And I know that's not a good idea, but what other idea are you going to sit there and let them build up?
Hasn't there already been like 40 nuclear tests on Earth? Just, you know what I mean, in modern times, since the fucking atom bomb test or whatever. I think that'd be an interesting topic, maybe to cover one of these days on those nuclear tests.
We've detonated multiple hydrogen bombs in the Pacific since then.
Yeah, no, it popped into my head where it was like, bro, I don't know. There's enough data on what happens when we test this shit that I don't think that we want to be taking the chance that, like, anyone's attacking anyone.
My favorite nuclear test was Operation Starfish Prime, where they were pretty afraid, like 90% afraid they were going to ignite the atmosphere.
Operation Chocolate Starfish.
That's according to, like, their own shit about the fucking mission. They're like, oh, this might ignite the atmosphere. We're kind of worried about it, but, like,
oh well.
Let's do it again.
Wasn't that the first nuke that they ever set off? They were worried about that shit.
They were, yeah, that too. But this one was the first one they ever set off in the upper atmosphere. They like set it off in the stratosphere.
It's a good thing we have these
That's an
scientists doing
interesting
these
topic.
things.
Yeah.
Because
Like-
otherwise, like, we might be like free of nuclear war and all that.
We were worried about detonating this on the ground as to whether or not it would light the sky on fire. But just in case, we're going to put this bigger one right in the middle of the sky and then set it off. Just
We want to make sure that it won't happen.
No shit.
We can't prove if it won't unless we try.
Exactly. How do we know what it'll do if we don't blow it up?
Yep.
I think that's half the answer is we made the world's biggest firecrackers and we had to know what they did regardless of cost or
Yeah.
consequences.
I mean, how many people didn't think, I have an M80. I wonder what it would blow up.
Exactly. And some general somewhere went, I wonder if it'll blow up the sky.
Yep.
Jack Bauer dropped in $5 and said, "What 308 would make the best longish range rifle to buy, semi-auto or bolt? I'm wanting a sniper / hunting and maybe battle rifle ? I like M1A, but open mind.
I'm not an M1A fan.
They're expensive for what you get, but they do hold their values. There's that aspect of it too. It's not like you're throwing your money away. You're just kind of depositing it in a gun for a while.
What he's basically asking is, should I get a semi-automatic or bolt-action scout rifle? Because that's what he's wanting by the sound of it.
Well, I mean, semi-automatic would be
Like
better for most things, I would think.
if you
However-
have a really sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, you're good. Well, I was going to say, however, real quick, you can't go everywhere with one of those, right? Like, there's certain areas, certain laws, certain places that a semi-automatic hunting rifle, let's say, is not legal. But a bolt action would be. So maybe a bolt action, depending on what you're planning on doing with it, where you're going to go with it, what your local laws are, would determine what choice between those two. But I would say semi-automatic.
If
Yeah.
you're going to go bolt action, the Mossberg MVP takes M14 and AR-10 mags and is really nice. I had one of those.
Uh-huh. Or something that takes an AICS mag.
Yeah, I don't like those as much, though. They are probably more reliable, though.
So I would definitely go with a high dollar gas gun that has a really good bolt, really good barrel. Just because magazines, semi-auto, and they're going to be a little bit heavier, but they're if you have a really good gun, they'll be just as accurate.
So
I really do like my PSA AR-10, and I'm not saying get that one, but an AR-10 is actually a pretty fucking sweet option.
from his question, it seems like he's wanting kind of a one gun for everything kind of thing. So, like, if it is an AR-10, I'd make it a light one. Because AR-10s get heavy fast.
And I was going to say, if weight is not an issue, a Scar Heavy
Yeah.
is not a bad idea. A buddy of mine has one, and with just regular ball ammo, he's doing 3/4 of an inch with the suppressor.
The problem is the price on that, though. It's almost for a hit. What are they, like $2,700 or something?
It costs money to get the best. That's like a
right, but
6-pound gun that does what he just talked about.
But if you take a Scar Heavy, or you go out and you have an AR-10 built with a matched bolt and barrel, you're gonna be really close to the Scar Heavy, if not
True.
more.
Oh, and price, you're saying?
The thing about the Scar is the better the ammo you feed it, and the better the shooter, the better the groups. And if you upgrade the rifle, because there's a few upgrades you can get, like a Geisley trigger for it, like $325. It's shocking that doesn't come with it, but it's got like a mil-spec trigger, but it's FN has pretty nice mil-spec triggers, honestly, in their rifles. I've noticed. You know what I mean? I don't know if they get a special trigger or they have special coating. What the deal? You know, or if they polish them a little bit, or you know what I mean, like kind of hand fit them as the rifles go down through QC. It's
I
a
know-
very nice rifle.
I think I know what I would
Shooting.
buy. And the PTR 91 with the lightweight barrel.
Mhm.
I like that gun. And
I-
assuming you're not trying to like do half-inch groups at 800 yards or some shit.
I like my PTR. I just don't like I just shoot, steel case shit through it. I'm just.
Yeah, I guess this reflects on what are you planning to do with the gun most. And like I would be wanting a self-defense gun, and then everything else kind of second.
And that PTR is a fairly lightweight for what it is.
It is. If you get the light barrel and don't put an aluminum handguard on it.
Yeah.
It's a totally
All
different
mine's
price point.
polymer stuff.
That and if you
Right.
put one of the AR stock adapters and the HK heavy buffer on it, it's a lot nicer gun to shoot.
Yeah, I mean mine is fine anyway.
Get a Century Arms C308.
I had one. It
What's the
was
price?
They're
it was
not
good.
bad.
So the C308. So the rear sight does not have windage adjustable. So the front sight, it's not centered in it. So as you turn, it goes up and down for your height, but it also kind of oscillates in that front for your windage. So you have very limited windage on that. I mean, it could be done, but if you're like, I'm just perfect on the height, but I'm 2 inches left, well, then you're going to be a little high or a little low and on target. So,
See, I think the PTR is worth the money just for the optics rail and rear sight. Because the HK rear sight is pretty nice. And
the
then,
C308s have the optic rail as well.
okay.
The newer C308s, the receivers are PTRs.
Okay. The
But-
one I had still had the claw mount.
Right.
MTS 1993 says, I can't build cheap ARs. Last one was $22.49 altogether. And for the next one, which is budget, is looking like $1,500 to $1,600. Jesus, man.
I think I can build an AR for $600 or $700.
I built one during the height of the pandemic. Well, not the height of it, but we were in the pandemic and guns were expensive for it was under $500.
No, I'm sure the person was saying that they prefer. It's like the "I Can't Drive 55" song. Like they just don't want to fucking do it, dude. They end up getting the nice. They must end up getting like a fluted spiral barrel or something crazy. I'm guessing on their build.
See, I guess I'm like a product of the 90s because everything made now seems way better than everything that was made in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, absolutely.
And I like PSA. Be honest. PSA.
Right. Well, PSA today is better than anything like the high-end shit in the 90s.
A PSA today is better than Colt in the 1980s or 1990s.
And when it comes to AR-15s, I buy pretty much as cheap as I can get them, usually PSA, honestly, myself. I spend money on things like triggers. I spend money on things like optics, magazines, ammo, that kind of shit is better spent, I think, than the base gun. Because you're not going to... I mean, unless there's something wrong with the gun from the factory, which I haven't run into from PSA, I don't really see them being that much better. I mean, maybe you can get a slightly tighter group or whatever, but it's going to be good enough for 100 yards, I guarantee.
If they put an optics mount on it somehow, that retro AR-10 from Brownells with the brown furniture would be a cool one for his one gun for everything thing.
So couldn't you get the scope to mount to the handlebar?
You could probably drill a hole in it and convert some AR-15 carry handle mount somehow, but I don't think it would look good.
Yeah, but if it's a one gun for everything, does it matter for looks?
Not really. That gun with iron sights, I think, would be pretty tits because it'd be super lightweight and honestly, you're probably not going to be shooting anything outside of iron sight range anyway.
Right. I mean, like my
Where's this
PSA,
guy?
I'm sorry, not my PSA. My HK, or not the HK, the shit, whatever I have. Not PSA. Crap.
This thing
My-
I built during the fucking pandemic. Plastic lower, Bear Creek upper, bullshit handle, $500. Runs great. I like this gun.
I like those lowers.
It is a little plasticky feeling when you pull back the charging handle. But if you can get over that, it works. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with it. And I do like the style of it, you know? Like, it's not exactly a retro gun, but it kind of is. It's like a Honda version of a retro gun.
Honda Retroed.
I liked it. Good job, Honda.
I think that gun would look cool with one of those fake suppressors that covers the barrel. You seen
It's got
those?
the 20-round mag, because you got to be a cool guy if you're running a retro gun. You can't have a long mag.
Because it's like those mags, the maximum length or maximum rounds like 25, right? They don't have any 30s.
Those are PMags.
Yeah, that was just a 20-round PMag. Stephen Carroll said the rifle is an old POS Springfield semi-automatic 22 that you got for a penny. That's fucking awesome. Anything old for a penny is fucking cool. How long till Hillion and Major Sci-Fi show?
Oh, it's probably already in some.
I don't understand that question.
The Hellion is the new bullpup from Springfield Armory.
Oh.
Well, it's not from them. It's imported by them.
Yeah.
It's a Croatian.
No one cares.
No one does care. No one supports the American worker. It's very unfortunate.
Yosh says, sorry for the spam. I didn't even see it, so don't be sorry. But have you heard about the volcano erupting in the Pacific? Satellite images look dope. If that was Yellowstone, thoughts? Dude, I did see it. Actually, I'll pull up some images of it real quick. Because it was all over Twitter. I just got to scroll down. Scroll down. Where is it?
I was reading reviews for shotgun recoil absorbing stocks on the internet earlier tonight. And one of them was talking about how you shouldn't put a scope on the gun after putting that stock on it because the gun recoils back and hits you in the eye. And I'm like,
You shouldn't have a scope with a shotgun anyway.
there's so much wrong with that comment.
And if you need one of these recoiling absorbing butt pads or stocks, you should not have that gun.
I saw it and thought it looked weird and wanted to know how it worked, so I was reading the reviews and then found that gem.
Dude, I thought it was in here somewhere. Apparently, I'm not going to find it.
He still gave it 5 stars, too.
Oh, here we go. Watch this. Watch this.
On sale.
So that's in the Pacific. So that's underground, or is that in the sky?
It's a volcano.
That's
I know,
a volcano?
but is that from? Oh, so it came out of
The ocean.
actually came out of the water. Okay.
That's how islands are made.
Man, I didn't realize volcanoes exploded that violently.
Dude, and then check this out. There's
I know there's tsunami warnings everywhere.
yeah.
I mean, I guess it makes sense. The volcanoes I've always seen were like the Hawaiian ones where they're just leaky.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean Mount St. Helens, but you'd think with all that water,
I forgot about that one.
with all the water on it, I'm surprised.
That thing looked like a nuke going off underwater.
Yeah, pretty much. It's probably more powerful than a nuke, to be honest.
Probably is.
I guess volcanoes range in size too, so that must have been a pretty big one.
Oh, here you go. Watch this. This is the tsunami making landfall. There's always people like just standing on the beach, like, I wonder how high this is gonna go. I'll back up a foot. Like, no, bitch, you need to like run.
I'm going to back up slightly.
Is that somebody in the water? I can't tell. I guess that's it. The other one that I saw, there was like wave after, there was like several waves coming in. They're all laughing and running. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Honda.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the SIG 516?
The SIG 516?
Heard of the 556.
No, the SIG 516. Somebody told me about it today. You can get it for like the upper for that for like $485, and it's like a 14.5-inch piston-driven upper. So you can use it for like a pistol. You could SBR it, or you could pin and weld it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pin and weld it with a.
This guy's gonna die.
Three prong flat hider on there. What'd you do?
There goes your
Anyway,
cameraman.
it
Your
was
cameraman
like
died.
$485.
Holy. Okay, we got to watch this again. Like this guy, they obviously know something's going to happen, so he's on the beach getting filmed, wearing a fucking life preserver because they know that the wave's coming in.
Idiot.
The
Sorry,
problem
people like
isn't the
that.
water.
I mean, that's just natural selection.
The problem isn't the water. The problem is the things floating in the water.
Well, no, with tsunamis, it's
Like
also the water as well because of the amount of force it has on you.
Jesus Christ, man. I guess that's how you get internet famous.
But what I was trying to say before that was that a certain website is selling that 516 upper on sale. It's back ordered right now, like 6 to 8 weeks, but it's like a $1,200 upper, and they're getting rid of it for like $485. And the buddy I got says that they've been getting them in stock in batches for like the last 2 years. So he said it's going to come in. It's just a matter of when. So the word planet might be in the name of the site if anybody was interested in fishing. And like you have to sign up to like a X Club or some shit, and that, you know what I mean. That's how you end up with 10% off to get it to like $485 and free ship. If anybody's looking for a new rifle up for like their suppressor build or some bullshit, I just wanted to throw it out.
Jack Bauer says, "Thanks all. I'm new to the 308/ long range stuff, so that's a lot to figure out. But you're helping me make a list of guns to look into. Thanks again."
But is 308 considered long range?
No, it's not. I was gonna say if you're actually looking long range, I would say go 6.5.
But 308's out to like a 800,000 yard cartridge. I'm confused. What's long range to you?
Like for me, it would be 900 1,000 plus.
The dudes who shoot who shoot actual competition long range don't use 308.
Right. It's because it's ballistically inferior to other rounds.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably good enough for anything that you're going to do. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say don't go 308, but honestly, like there are better options if long range is the actual goal, is having a long range fucking competition gun, let's say, then I would say don't go 308.
It depends on how tight a group you're trying to shoot. I think 6.5 is going to be way tighter, and especially like you said, 1,000 yards, you're going to be shooting 3-inch if you hand load for it. But 308 is going to be much more attainable.
Daniel says, actually, Night Strike just farted in the Pacific. He sharted in the Pacific.
It happens sometimes, you know.
Conspiracy theorists are going to say that they blew up, they attacked something under there, and what was it?
No. See, here's the mistake that people make when they're talking about conspiracy theorists, is they think that every little fucking crazy thing that you could possibly think of is what they're going to automatically jump to because they're conspiracy theorists. And some of them, that's probably true, honestly. Some of them
The
fit
bullshit.
that bill. Some of the people out there who consider themselves to be conspiracy theorists are the type to think that that would be some sort of a DARPA project that resulted in a volcano in the middle of the Pacific that they had planned on for years, and yada, 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 and here's the operation name, stuff like that. But most of us out there base our views on actual evidence and things that you can point to and inconsistencies in stories and things like that. So when it comes to just normal old fucking volcanoes and things like that, most conspiracy theorists aren't going to blink an eye at it. But that
No, I
being
meant the
said, you're
shitty
probably
ones,
right.
but-
There are some who would.
Yes, the shitty
I
ones.
was wondering
That's
what
I was-
alien attack happened in the Pacific that they're covering up.
Mm.
Thanks.
It's a
MTS
World War II ship that just finally lit.
Right.
It's a portal to another time and universe. They blew
Hey,
it up.
Wait,
Godzilla comes out.
What wasn't there a movie about a portal in the Pacific?
Gojira.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, that's it. Like
Gojira.
a Pacific Rim or something like that.
Oh, Gojira. MTS 1993 says, in the glory days of super cheap PSA, I had a buddy build an AR for $350. Finish was crap. Gas tube misaligned and other issues really turned me off.
No.
Yeah, but for that price, you could get that gas tube aligned correctly, and who
Yeah.
cares about the finish?
Exactly. Like the components, there's nothing wrong with them. If the gas tube came misaligned, that would be a first that I'd ever seen something like that. In which case, you just fucking align it.
Mhm.
And then the finish, okay, fine. It comes from the factory perfectly clean and good. I scratch guns up getting them out of the safe sometimes. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I have a Moss 36, and whenever I bought it, did not have a freaking scratch or anything anywhere on it, and now there's gouges in it.
right. It just
So-
happens.
I'm kind of a believer that, like, if you have a gun that's going to be a defensive gun or something you're going to shoot, fucking paint it, scratch it all up, and own it, and like that way it doesn't matter what it looks like anymore. Like Boba Fett the thing.
Iron Road said, if you're ever feeling down on yourself, remember that there are currently Orgonians making their way to the coast despite the tsunami warning. Well, as far as I understand, the tsunami that happened as a result, and maybe it would go different, like depending on the direction that the wave is traveling in, would depend on the severity. Like I could see potentially one direction it would be a little wave and the other would be a big wave, right? Like who knows? I don't know. But the waves that have hit the coast so far have been, 10 feet, maybe 20 feet tops.
So if they have big tsunamis in Asia from this, and there's like no tsunamis on the west coast of America at all, does that prove that we're on a flat Earth?
Yes. I think that's scientific evidence right there.
It might
You
be.
just-
Like it's
you
more
need
realistic
to,
than anything they talk about.
Someone needs to email the Flat Earth Society and let them know.
Here's a free one, boys. Go look into this.
Is it possible that a big enough earthquake, or not a volcano, excuse me, could go off that it could literally block the sun, or is that impossible? I mean, is it,
If a volcano
mean,
went off, it can
you
block
get what I'm saying?
like 95% of the sunlight, which kills everything. Yeah.
Theoretically, yes, it could.
It just
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
there's
I'm saying,
periodically,
it's
like, what is it, every 80,000 years on average, there's like a fucking species die off, like a mass extinction event that happens on Earth, and they think that most of those are periodic fucking super volcanoes that go off.
The good news about this one is it happened underwater. So
Well, and
Yeah,
it
that's what I was
also
thinking
wasn't a
too
super
earlier.
volcano; it was just a volcano. Like, it's not like
It
fucking
looked like that,
Yellowstone
but
went
it
off in the middle of the Pacific. You know what I mean?
And like since it was in underwater, that helped filter out, and that the weight of the water helped keep that to a minimum. If that would have been above water, all that extra energy that it used to displace the water would have went straight into the atmosphere.
yep.
I don't think it made much
yeah,
of a difference.
seriously, look,
Oh, I bet you it did make a
seriously
ton
look
of
like-
difference.
Yeah.
It made a ton of difference.
Well,
this thing would be fucking.
well,
with our-
okay. Here's the deal. You're thinking like this shit started at the bottom of the ocean, right?
Yeah, we don't know where it started, but even if it
No,
started
there's
100 feet
volcanic
down,
islands around there. Whatever fucking piece of that volcano that popped off was just underwater, like 50 feet, 100 feet tops. You know what I mean? Like it's not under like miles of ocean.
yeah, but
Kinda looked like
we
it
don't
was.
know that.
Dude, okay, well, I was watching videos from
Yeah,
people on a boat.
and we don't know that either. Like
Well,
it could
I'm
have been
telling you,
50.
I do know that because I was watching someone taking videos from their boat. Look, right here. Right? What's right here? Oh, that's an island. What's right here? Oh, that's an island. It's kind of in between them, but that can't be more than, I mean, who knows? Maybe it drops sharply off, but it seems to me that's like where the volcano is. And if it made those islands, then it's probably pretty close to the surface right there. You know what I mean? Bueller?
Go back to the video of it exploding.
This one?
Yeah. What we're saying is that giant fucking pressure wave that's in the water, if it wasn't on the water, would do more shit in the atmosphere.
Right. And just the initial movement of all that water takes a lot of energy. That water absorbs so much.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to say the Earth looks like it shit its pants there.
What was that? The Night Strike just farted.
That is a big fucking explosion.
MTS
Well, yeah,
1993.
because look at that weather, that low pressure center right there.
Yeah, there's scale. That's like probably 50 to 100 miles or more. And like, that's a low estimate. I don't know how big that thing is.
I bet
Did
you
they
it's
say?
like a third of the U.S.
It's big.
What was that? The Night Strike just farted. Sorry. MTS 1993 says, you may think I'm crazy for spending that much, but I'd rather have peace of mind and not having to worry. Well, here's the thing, though.
You can have that for less money.
You get a PSA AR-15 home. You shoot 1,000 rounds through it, let's say. You know, you put like a good amount of $400 or $500 worth of rounds through this fucking gun. If it makes it through that and it doesn't have a hiccup and everything is still together and you check out the bolt and there's no cracks and the gas tube isn't fried up and nothing's stupid on the gun, you're probably good.
Or you spend most of your money, like let's say I'm going to buy $1,000. I want to spend $1,000 on this. You spend half of that on your bolt carrier and your barrel, and then everything else doesn't really matter. That's one great thing about the AR style is the bolt and bolt carrier. The bolt carrier, actually bolt, not even bolt carrier, but just your bolt and your barrel is the most important piece of this.
Is that Alaska? Is that what this is supposed to be?
That looks like Germany.
Oh, Germany. Okay, so it's the size of Germany.
John, the size of Germany.
It's pretty big, I guess. I don't fucking know, dude. I mean, I would think with something that big, being under 50 feet of water isn't going to, you know what I mean? Like, how much rock did it have to push through till it finally escaped? Like, getting through 50 feet of water is like nothing, I would think. For something that big, with that much shit coming out of it, it pushed that out of the way within the first instant, and everything after that was unencumbered, you know?
I think you need to go like watch some stuff on how things happen when they happen underwater versus air with explosives.
Yeah, but
It's
like the ground and everything, whether it was underwater or above water, that's a mute point because that's the same amount of.
I saw another video of this thing actually exploding from the boat. Jesus Christ. The fuck?
It's a cloud the size of Germany. I think the hole is probably lower than whatever those islands are.
I wish I would have retweeted that video because like they were on a boat and like you could see like smoke rising and then you see the actual like fucking crazy explosion that happens. Because I think they were like, "Yo, this thing's probably gonna blow soon because of the seismic activity that was happening and like the gases coming out of it and shit like that." I'm not seeing this video that I saw earlier though. Maybe I won't. Maybe we'll never know. Maybe you all think that I'm just a liar and I don't know what I'm talking about. But it seemed to me, from the way that the explosion looked, it was pretty close to the surface. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. I don't care.
My other thought is the stuff that affects the weather is like the soot and ash and shit. And isn't all that just dumping straight into the water right now?
Well, that whole cloud was soot and ash. Like the cloud that's the size of Germany is soot and ash. Like that's what that shit is.
That's crazy.
Because it's a pyroclastic flow. It's not like a, I forget what they call it, where it just like flows out like fucking liquid, but that's different. And it has to do with the amount of gas that's trapped within the rock in pressure. So it's in pressure in a liquid form, this rock, right? Under the surface of the planet. And if there's a lot of gas inside of that rock, it gets absorbed like carbon dioxide into a soda, right? And what happens when you like shake up a soda and then like fucking release the top? All that gas wants to come out at the same time. Well, the same principle is happening within that rock. When the pressure changes, the gas is allowed to escape from the rock all of a sudden, all at once, which makes it shoot into the air with fucking like crazy fucking speed and pressure and shit. Yeah, I'm a waiter. Fuck you.
That joke is. That's funny.
I used to know more about geology. I'll have to go look at volcano shit again.
Well, I mean, like that's the key difference as to why like one volcano acts like this and another one acts like that. Yeah. It's the amount of gas that's trapped inside of the liquid hot magma. Magma.
I haven't thought about volcanoes since probably 9th grade.
What if like the whole fucking fault line and the what do they call it? The Ring of Fire starts going off? Because I think this is part of that. This has to be, right?
Where is
then
this?
It's going to get the spicy.
I mean, the Ring of Fire, I mean, it's basically encircles the entire Pacific Ocean.
Down, down, down.
Oh, well, not there. Where
do Pacific Ring of Fire.
Well, I know what the Ring of Fire is. I'm trying to find where this fucking volcano is.
Oh.
So I've known multiple people in my life that had a PhD that you were saying just a waiter. I knew this one guy that we called ball cards because he was brilliant. Like he fucking knew the back, stats on a ball card, that kind of brilliant. So he could just recite shit like that. But he literally had 3 different jobs, working at different hours of the night, day and night, at different gas stations to pay off all these goddamn student loans because Dave had, just student loans out the ass because he was a PhD. Like I said, the man was brilliant, but he was, and for some reason his personality and all that, he worked at gas stations. That's what he did. And then another guy I knew, he worked at a university as a janitor, and he was old as fuck, like 85, should have been forced out to retire, but Dr. Doug, he was happy as shit to fucking be a janitor, even though he had worked there so long. He had a PhD, bro. He was Dr. Doug.
Okay.
Dr. Doug be out there taking the trash out to the dumpster.
Well, I don't know where it is, but here's a picture of the island from before it was erupting, right? So you can see, like, this is a volcano that's happened before. That's why there's an island here. Parts of it are poking up above. This part is presumably somewhere in here is where the eruption was coming from, which would be the caldera or the middle of the volcano, which is often underwater, by the way. Like even in inland fucking volcanoes, the caldera will be filled up like a lake. But anyway, I digress.
That's cool.
I'm just saying it didn't come from deep. Like this is
Okay, yeah.
how deep do you think that is in the middle? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is there an after?
I don't know. Fuck me. Like I don't know.
I mean, I don't look at you like that, but
I just want a map.
do.
I want a map of like here's the wave pattern or whatever. All the pictures are still loading. Thank you, CNN, for having slow internet. Maybe you can hire some more child rapists to be producers. Tonga. Okay, let's look up Tonga. Tonga. Maps.
The island of Tonga.
Okay, here we go.
Sounds like someplace the Japanese invaded.
so yeah,
Pretty sure it is.
So,
that would definitely be a part of the Ring of Fire.
northeast of
Oh,
that
show.
is definitely Ring of Fire status.
That's like right in the middle of the sweep across the Pacific of all those islands.
Which means like this big circle right here
Yeah.
goes through California. Now California's gonna break off like right there, like right down the middle. How many people live in that part of California, I wonder? You take like 100 miles inland, the whole west.
Less now.
Well, yeah. Well,
And I heard that California is like, oh, we've lost revenue, so what are they going to do? Increase taxes to get that revenue back.
Daniel dropped in $2 and said, more than likely was caused by Night Strike's last visit to Taco Bell.
That's
Damn
probably
it,
true.
Night Strike. We told you to not get the bean burrito.
I can't believe God fucking just has Taco Bell like that. Like it has consequences.
He got a rumbly in his tumbly.
Dude, you need to stop at 20 tacos, not 200.
It's math. Even though he created it, it still confuses him, and he forgot
doesn't
how to
believe in
carry.
it.
Yeah.
I knew a guy named Tony that legit won a fucking taco eating contest. He ate like 24 tacos in like, I don't know, 10 minutes, I think it was. Tony was gassy as fuck for the next 3 days.
I'd hate to
Called
be
him
around
Big
him.
Toe.
I used to play football back in
Oh,
high
yeah.
school. Back when McDonald's rolled out the Big and Tasty. If you guys remember the Big and Tasty. I don't know. Do they still fucking sell
Yep.
this shit? Big and Tasty?
Nope.
Anyway, when that shit was brand new, they were like, oh, it's such a big burger. It's going to fill you up. We're going to invite football players from the local high school to come over and have an all-you-can-eat contest to see how many of those you can eat. I ate like a dozen of them, dude.
Well, that's
That was
because
back-
you're fucking E Honda.
Good hoy. I've been working out. Can you tell? Raw.
I was gonna say that your avatar picture got skinnier.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little better. I did not change my eating habits at all. In fact, I've been eating more food. And moreover, I've been like keeping track of my weight, because I'm like, oh, I'm going to start working out. That means I'll probably start losing weight.
Probably more. You gain.
Well, I lost 10
Yeah, you're
pounds,
gaining weight.
and then I gained 5 back, and then I gained 3 back, and then I gained 2 back.
Yeah.
So I've lost
Gaining
no
muscle.
pounds
That's why.
at all. I have lost 0 pounds, but I feel better and I look better, so that's what matters.
The best thing you can do at the start, in my opinion, is just completely ignore what the scale says. Like, don't even weigh yourself. Just keep doing the system, whatever it is, and keep going. And then weigh yourself once you're like at a point where you might be, actually seeing results.
Well, judging how clothes fit is a hell of a lot better than any scale.
That too.
I was going to give you encouragement and say you're toning and that you will continue to gain weight if everything goes well, because guess what? You're going to be bulking up and gaining more mass and more muscle, which is what you want because, to a certain extent, you're.
It's just how my body's
Gaining
built.
weight.
I can't
It's
help.
not a
I
bad
cannot work out without getting huge, without turning into like mini Arnold. It sucks,
yeah.
dude. No, I'm serious, dude.
Why would that suck?
Because sometimes you
That's
just want to
for
work
sure.
out and not make it into a fucking thing. You just want to, but then your body's like, nope, we're gonna bring the sugar, and then
Popeye.
I
and
think
then
it's
everybody
almost
fucking looks
competitive,
at you
too.
different, like you start like when I start working out and then I get bigger, then everyone's like, oh, you're just a dumb jock, fucking blah blah blah. Just everyone fucking judges you all the time, and it's stupid. I hate it. You're just a waiter. You spend all your time in the gym. You don't know nothing about nobody. Oxygen is not the same level at altitude, you fuck ass.
Honda, I love that you're smart and a waiter. I don't love that you're a waiter, but I mean, like, I like knowing that there are other people out there that at least can think.
Well, and that's the other thing, though, too. When I'm at work, everyone's like, not everyone, but people come in and they generally expect some sort of baseline level of stupidity and ignorance from the waiter or whoever's going to be taking care of them. So they like preemptively like take measures to like not get their shit fucked up because they've had it happen so often before. And like when I'm juggling 8 other things, they get worried because they're like, well, he's doing like 8 other things and and then everything's fine and everything's perfect. And they're like amazed, and I can make conversation and make a joke while I'm walking by. It's a skill. I make more money per hour doing that than I would working at wherever Duke works. Whatever it is that Duke does. Bad analogy. We can't discuss that one.
Those like garden gnomes in people's yards?
Mm-hmm.
Duke plays one of those in real life.
I thought that was Night Strike.
Actually, yeah, that is Night Strike.
That's what Night Strike should be for Halloween.
We should totally. We get him the red hat and the blue vest.
Either that or Gimli.
I mean, those gnomes are never proportionate, but it's like Night Strike's even worse off than that.
We need to get Night Strike a helmet and an axe too.
Oh, 100%.
I think we should put a helmet and axe fund together for Night Strike.
And you have my axe.
Yeah, it's got to be the Gimli axe, and it's got to be the Gimli helmet, and maybe even like some Gimli armor. I don't know how much this is going to be by the time we're done buying all the Gimli gear.
It depends how authentic you want to go.
Idea.
Problem is at the end of the day, he's just going to sit there and claim that he never got it.
Yeah, no shit. He won't ever wear it for us.
How do you spell Gimli?
Claim he never got it.
Gimley.
I got it.
Oh, he totally got the blue dress.
I think Night Strike should feel honored that there's a bunch of strange men on the internet willing to send him clothes to put on. Like normally, you have to be kind of a hot girl to get that kind of action.
I'm not one of them.
F&H, come on, you totally sent him stuff.
I'm a simple man. I'm not into that shit.
I'm a simple man.
Oh no, sorry, you don't want to send him stuff. You want him to send you his dirty underwear so you could finally have a pair.
Night Strike's been farting in jars for 5 years now, but no one wants to buy it.
Night Strike bathwater, $30 a jar.
I was going to say, finally a mask that works that's got like skid mark on it. Keep people fucking social distancing at least 6 feet apart from you.
These are like ghetto, dude. No, I want like a real fucking Gimli battle axe.
What is the company that makes them like licensed?
Oh, you know where we need to go? Where we haven't gone yet, that we haven't been to in a while?
Bud K?
Yes. Bud K. Okay, we need an
I'm
axe.
sure Bud K has a Gimli axe.
I'm sure they have one. They have to.
They have to.
Probably like $19.99.
Probably. It's like $20 with the helmet.
All right,
Made out
guys,
of plastic.
I gotta get out of here. I will catch you.
Oh, come on, Foos. At least see what helmet we buy.
I think I got to do the same, to be honest.
Here we go. Lord of the Rings Gimli axe. $166.
That's the small, like, throw.
Yeah, that's the small one, though. I want the big one. God damn it.
Big axe.
You son of a bitch.
I'm confused. What genre is this axe and armor from?
Lord of the Rings.
Okay, that's why I'm confused. I haven't really seen those. I apologize.
Oh, that's the only one they have.
Should pull up a picture of Gimli and show F&H and see if he thinks it's Night Strike.
Yeah, I thought we were talking about Viking stuff at first, and then you guys started talking about the Gimli, and I was like, I'm going to be quiet. I don't know what we're talking about.
Gimli is a dwarf. He has
Okay.
an axe.
Yeah, I think I know that character. Doesn't he have
He
a
has a
beard?
big beard.
Yep. Okay, my buddy, I have a childhood friend, and a guy named James, and I haven't talked to him for several years, but still, I'd consider him a close friend always. And dude, he was super into Lord of the Rings, and his passion in life was to get these statues from this company called Sideshow Collectibles, and he would buy the highest end products at this collectible. They had all the rights to everything, and Lord of the Rings was his shit, and he loved like the actual scenes where you could get like a little castle or a battle scene. I mean, like I said, my buddy was awesome.
Don't they make like
I haven't
dolls
seen
or
him in
some
years.
shit?
God damn it! I gotta change my
Yeah,
name.
but he wasn't into that. He was into like an actual like bust, like a hand painted one-off bust that you would put on a shelf or the top of your book. I'm telling you, this guy had it all. Like he was in massive debt up to his eyeballs trying to pay for this shit. It was fucking crazy, his collection. But it was like, think of everything. All of it was steadily going up in price because he was always buying the next limited edition thing.
It feels bad to pick on Night Strike when he's not here, but like, how else are we going to get him to show up? He has to like eventually come
to invoke his name.
Yeah.
No,
In nomine
I talked to him earlier.
Patri.
He said he had to go to bed.
It's Feely.
Yeah, he said he had to go to bed, do something, or maybe I don't know. He had women
Night Strike
to bed
hasn't
down
showed up
with.
to a late night with Honda Chat in months. He gets an invite every
Shaking
time.
his glorious mane and bedding many glorious women.
He stopped sending me invites for some reason. I don't know why. I have no idea.
Yeah, hell, this fucking blue dress talk, sexual harassment, bro. Leave the man alone.
Honestly, I don't know what I did.
Sexually harass the motherfucker. Maybe that's F5. No, I don't know.
Jesus Christ, we can't watch that on YouTube. Dad who, quote, made pedo who raped daughter dig own grave not to face murder charges.
I think I'd take my chances with the jury on that one.
Job well done. I mean, you found out he did it. You walked him out to the woods. You made him dig a big hole. You filled the hole.
I think having him dig his own grave is a really nice touch.
Yeah, it is. It is. Shows a level of premeditation that you really can't disprove.
It's like, it's exactly it. Like, you sat there and forced him to dig a hole for like 6 hours.
I mean, I was always told 2 wrongs never make a right, but I feel like in this case, they definitely didn't make a left.
It's like, you definitely meant to kill this bitch. You sat there and watched him dig for however long it takes.
How long does it take to dig a 6-foot grave big enough to lay in?
Well, I guess is that if you're being shelled, not very long, but if you're digging your own grave, 10 years.
Oh, yeah, you're digging like 1 centimeter at a time.
Yeah.
That'd be a kind of like a shitty thing to be doing, though. Like, what's coming at the end of this hole, As soon as you're done and he's like, okay, put the shovel up. Like, fuck. Good enough. No, it's not good enough. I gotta make it wider.
It's like in, what was it, Saving Private Ryan? Betty Grable. All that shit.
Whoa, Grimace is Jabba the Hutt.
What?
What's this dude's name from McDonald's?
Grimace.
He's Jabba the Hutt.
Can't remember what the other kind of volcano shit's called, but I remember fucking Grimace. I hate the 90s.
Was that bat wings? Oh, those are buffalo wings that are like blackened or something. Weird.
That's weird.
Those
It
look
looks
like
like
bat
you got the
wings.
Wuhan wings.
Yeah, it's like a Wuhan special. Are you ready? A Wuhan special plate?
We got shitty Wuhan beef.
Shitty
from a cave beer
Wuhan bat
plate, boy.
wing?
Wuhan shitty beef.
Yeah.
Dude, I was looking at this earlier. This is cool. Solar flare in slow-mo.
That's cool.
I like how you can see like the gravity like pulling fucking fire back down. You can see some of it lose its velocity and just fucking falls like right into the sun.
See, I think that's what I like about your show is like there's cool science shit in it too. Like and like sometimes it's conspiracy driven, but that's cool. But like something like this, I think it's cool that we just see cool shit too.
It's because I follow Elon Musk.
Yeah.
They're doing some crazy shit. Like the that link to your brain. Have you heard about that shit?
Yeah. I think I told you about that.
Neural link.
May have. I was watching some videos on it recently, and I guess they're on like Gen 2 or 3 of that now, and they've changed the location to where like you won't be able to see if somebody has it.
Okay, here's another shot of the sun. This is just a picture. But like look at this, dude. I can't zoom in anymore. Like you can just see like the fingers of fire reaching out everywhere, and then I don't know. It's just fucking cool because you don't get to see the sun. Your eyes can't fucking bring the light down to the point where you could see those fingers of fire. But like through the magic of technology, they're able to contrast it or whatever they fucking do.
You want to
You
hear
see,
some?
like a sunspot right there and shit. You know, it's just cool.
You want to hear some trippy shit that like Hindus and Buddhists believe? So they believe that there's life everywhere. Even there on the surface of the sun, there's some sort of life that we don't understand. Like, I don't know exactly how they think that works, but I think that's a fascinating idea.
Well, I mean, for all we know, like the properties that exist on the surface of the sun could be conducive to some sort of life that we don't understand that could never exist outside of that environment. So you wouldn't be able to like go there and take a sample and bring it back and study it because it would die. Like instantly.
Exactly. I just thought that was like really trippy. I don't know.
You got to do that thing where they get what do they call the Klingon vessels? Bird of prey.
Yeah.
And you fly in close to the sun and you fucking fire your photon torpedo and then grab it with your fucking
Like warp
tractor
weather.
beam and then like bring a fucking huge fireball out of the sun and destroy an entire Jem'Hadar base. That's what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I've been watching Deep Space Nine a lot.
I've been watching a lot of Deep Space Nine too. They took all of fucking Star Trek off of Hulu, and like Deep Space Nine is all I can find on Netflix.
Oh,
They got rid of
I remember those back in the day.
They got rid of Voyager too off of Netflix, which I was disappointed with.
Yeah, I think they're all going to Paramount Plus only. That's gonna
That
suck,
makes sense.
but at least I'll get to watch the new Star Trek.
Although if I had to choose between Voyager and Deep Space Nine, I would choose Deep Space Nine.
Me too. I
There's
like
just more to
Voyager. It's a good show, but Deep Space Nine is like the best one.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, I mean, Deep Space Nine had more overarching fucking long form storylines that went on throughout the show.
There are hardly any characters that have recurring episodes in that show that I loathe. Whereas in Next Generation, there's a good half a dozen to a dozen like recurring characters that have multiple episodes where you're like, oh my god, not this one again. And
What's
then,
your favorite?
The barkeep.
What's your favorite Next Generation episode? Do you think?
oh, that's hard. I know. The last episode of season 1, where they're at the neutral zone and they find the people frozen in time. You remember that episode?
Vaguely, actually.
They're like they're in like
I end up skipping season 1 a lot when I watch it because like season 1 is just not as good.
I would agree, but this is like just my favorite episode because it's just classic Trek. It's a lot like an original series episode, but it has what's his name? A actor that we all know plays one of the, I guess, it's a country singer. I forget his name.
Oh, that one I do remember, and they get him out of the pods or whatever that they find in space. Okay, yeah.
And then there's one that's like some wife that died, and then another one's like a financial guy, but they all died in like the 90s and were frozen and taken to like the next generation.
I really like Data's Day. That's a good episode.
That is a good episode too.
I also like anything with the Borg. So like the episode where they run into Q and then he brings them into the fucking part of the galaxy that's got the Borg and then they have to fight him and
all of the Q episodes are my favorite. Also, I can't choose between them. That's why I pick a random episode that I like, I guess. Because I even like Encounter at Farpoint because Q's in it, and that's really not a very good episode of Star Trek.
Right.
I agree with both of you. Both Q and the Borg were always so fucking fascinating that no matter what the episode was really about, if they were in the episode, it was always fucking.
That was the failing I thought Deep Space Nine had, if it had any, was that they didn't really explore Q that much or the Borg that much. They had their own things and they did their own things.
Was there any?
They did one episode with Q, I think.
There was a couple episodes with Q because they brought his son in and did some stuff, and
that was in Voyager.
There was one with Bosch.
The one with Bosch was in Deep Space Nine, but the other one was in Voyager. Voyager had several Q encounters.
Deep Space Nine didn't have any fucking Borg activity at all either, which I was disappointed in.
I thought it didn't make sense. I guess they're trying to make the Dominion the threat or whatever, but like you introduce the Borg, they're out there. Like, why are they not still like they could take over the Earth in 5 seconds, but they're choosing not to? That doesn't make sense.
They're rebuilding.
It takes forever to rebuild.
They need to assimilate more technology first.
We reduced them to atoms. They'll be back in about 20 years.
I was saying it was cool that Picard became Locutus in whatever episode that was.
Yeah, that was the best of both worlds, 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's cool as shit.
That's one that a lot of people would probably name as their favorite episode.
Me fighting in the metaverse prison yard while doing time for screenshotting NFTs. Watch, this is hilarious. That's cool, dude. They've got these virtual reality things with like a fucking ball underneath you or something that you can run on and it like tracks where your feet are and moves you around in the world.
Okay,
like this is next level, dude.
That's cool. Yeah, for sure, man. I love that.
I don't understand.
Dedicate a part of your house to that. Imagine if that was like right, you know what I'm saying, where your TV used to be.
Mayonnaise and pizza.
So with the Neuralink and that game thing combined, are we just headed for the Matrix?
Some would say we're already there.
What's going on with the hostage situation in Texas? Does anyone know?
No, but there's a Jewish synagogue that they took over, so it's probably some Nazi fucks or something. Some sort of hate group if it's at a synagogue.
Okay, prayers answered. All hostages are out safe. Greg Abbott announced 20 minutes after a large bang and gunfire were heard in direct action in the synagogue. Status of the suspects are not yet known. The resolution came more than 10 hours after suspect entered the congregation Beth Ezrael as the synagogue was live streaming its Sabbath morning service on Facebook. Live stream appeared to capture part of the incident before it was removed. Law enforcement officials told CNN they reviewed the stream and used it to gather clues on the incident and individuals involved. 2 law enforcement officials told CNN investigators believe the hostage taker may have been motivated by a desire to release Antifa who was serving an 86-year sentence at the facility in Texas. She was convicted in 2010 with 7 charges, including attempted murder and armed assault of U.S. officers in Afghanistan. So probably not right-wing Nazi.
Interesting.
That was my guess, honestly.
Well, like it's like the obvious one, right? Like if you're taking over a synagogue, but I guess if they're going for someone that was arrested in Afghanistan, maybe this is a Muslim extremist thing and they don't like Jews too.
No, the Muzzies don't like Jews very much. They've kind of had a problem with them since,
The
ever.
beginning of time.
Uh,
Your goat shat on my land. La, 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 la. Who knows? Like the original offense is probably something we would all laugh at now, between the two groups.
honestly, it was just a religious disagreement, right? Like, we believe this, you believe that, I think.
I think based on what both of them believe, they both believe pretty much the same shit. So at some point they must have been together, and then they had a bad breakup, and now they've just hated each other for years. Although there's not very much hate on the Jew side of things from what I see, other than like they want to kill us, so we don't like them.
Wasn't the Middle East at one point like mostly Christian?
I think it was like a third at one point.
More than it is now, though, right? By a lot.
Before Islam came in, there was a whole mix of shit.
That's like an interesting period of time that I don't really know a lot about, Like, what happened during the, like, Muhammad and all his shit that he did? What happened in the Middle East? What was it like before? What were the changes, like that kind of stuff.
I like Middle Eastern history because, like, in the very recent past, the Middle East has changed completely several times. And the changes are kind of fascinating. Like, when World War I ended, the Ottoman Empire broke up, and a substantial portion of the Middle East just got lines drawn through it by the British and the French as to what was what.
Right. They just, like, we're like, hey, the line should go, like, here, I guess.
Yeah. This is Iraq. You're welcome.
We won't ask anybody who lives there what they think. It's fine. Yeah, that didn't work out great.
In reality, I think the only way the Middle East will ever work is as an empire, like the Ottoman Empire or whatever again. Like, it would have to be something on that level. So otherwise, you're always going to have fucking people pissing each other off that live in the same place, basically.
Well, according to Nostradamus, isn't that where the Antichrist comes from, is the Middle East? Where he sends out rockets to destroy everybody?
I don't know.
I watched some video about it a long time ago, and I seem to remember that.
The disturbing part about the Middle East is that in reality, they have a lot of money and a lot of technology and just sit back and watch. And what would happen if someone took power in like Saudi Arabia that wanted a little bit more world power?
Did the chat freeze? Because the
Not
last
me.
chat that I see is from
Shadow.
10:43. It is now 10:58. So it's been
Maybe
15
refresh?
minutes. Hold on, let me check something.
No, there's new ones. You just haven't refreshed.
Is it just on my screen? I guess it's just on my screen. Okay. Yeah, there's like a whole page of comments beyond that. That's weird. Strange. I wish you guys could see my screen. Here, I guess you can, actually. Oops.
So I think I'm going to put a Lantac Dragon brake on that, or compensator, on that 516 upper and get it pinned and welded.
So that's the last chat that I could see on StreamYard.
I looked at that upper you're talking about getting. Like, I get why it's a good deal, but to me, it's kind of like a thing that, like, you would really want it because it's a great deal, that's probably all that upper's really worth in reality now with the old school quad rail on it and the gas piston system. And I don't know.
Yeah, but I like that rail.
Okay.
I mean, that's my style. I like quad rail. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like quad rail is the shit.
Daniel says, say never enough.
So think about that.
Camel Toe's name 3 times and see if it invokes his presence.
I'll text him.
Never enough ammo. Never enough ammo. Never enough. Remember that fucking movie Candyman?
Yeah.
Yeah. That never fucking scared me for some reason. Jeepers Creepers scared the fuck out of me though, and I don't know why. Jeepers Creepers isn't even really that scary of a movie, you know? It's like so unlikely that anything like that exists in reality, and it's like over the top what the guy can do, and you know, like the powers that he has, but it scared me. It did. It smelled my fear.
Matt never wants to do the Saturday night shot. I think it's too late for him. He's turned into an old man.
FBI freeze. Okay, this is just a different source for what we already read. I don't know. We have an interesting topic for the Gay Frog chat tomorrow, and I will just touch upon it right now because this will be the topic of conversation for tomorrow. So I don't want to go too long on this because I don't want to ruin the chat for tomorrow.
Okay.
But did you know that currently the U.S. government is running drills within the United States, much like Jade Helm, if you remember Jade Helm, except for much less publicized, in which U.S. military forces are being trained on how to fight against U.S. military alumni. What do you call them? Veterans. Oh,
penis, 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 penis.
it worked.
Penis,
It
penis,
worked.
penis, 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 penis.
Holy
Penis.
shit. Pretty pleased with the shaved pussy on top.
What?
Yep. Works every motherfucking time like the first time, motherfucker. How you doing?
Penis.
Well thought.
That's a hell of an entrance.
I can make it better. But you might get kicked off YouTube.
You can make it bigger.
Suction does that.
Booty twerkins.
Remember what we were talking about last night? About how if you take 2 words, but you put them one way, they sound more offensive than if you put them the other way?
No, I wasn't there, I don't think.
Twerkins booty?
Well, we had a question about this last night off air.
Yeah, off air. We were discussing that, like, if you just randomly try to say 2 very offensive words, like, if you put one in front of the other in a specific way, it just sounds like you're just trying to be offensive, right? Like, you're not. It doesn't feel like it's really jabbing at anybody. But if you put them the other way, they sound very accusatory,
Very directed.
and much more directed, like you're calling somebody this. So
if I called you whole ass, it would be better than asshole?
Sort of, but it's like if you just said,
I have another example, but I don't want to do it.
I'm trying to say, so like just in your mind, I just want you to say the
FN
word,
or NF.
Yeah, like N-word, F-word, right?
Oh God.
It just sounds like you're just trying to say offensive things. But if you say F-word, N-word, that feels much more pointed, right?
That's much more pointed at someone who is black and gay, yes.
This is what I'm saying. All right, like you say it one way, it just sounds like randomly offensive. Like you're just trying to say something offensive. Like you're not really pointing it at anybody. But if you say it the other way, it sounds way more offensive. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why. It just sounds more offensive one way than it does the other.
We danced around that very nicely.
Yes.
I have to reload. Dude, my fucking StreamYard's messing up and the chat's not popping up. I'm going to try to reload the page real quick, so it might drop me out.
Okay.
And now it's our show, Matt.
Here we are. yeah.
Well, thank
Oh.
fucking Christ, guys. How y'all doing? I can finally fucking say something without Honda flip. Oh, never mind. I gotta mute my
Son
mic
of a
again. Honda's
bitch.
back. I can't say anything anymore.
It's all right.
Oh, he's gone again.
The fuck? He was here a second ago.
What if we just had the E Honda show without E Honda all the time?
Bro, I'm allowed to talk again? What the fuck? This is awesome. Finally, it's like a breath of fresh air. I'm allowed to talk. How y'all doing?
What's up?
Pretty fucking good, actually. I'm having some beef jerky here. This is awesome. Deep priming some 9mm brass. Having a pretty good night. Pulled some
Beef
auto
jerky.
parts. I got some auto parts money back so I can get fucking long tube headers for my 94. That's coming. I'm gonna get fucking glass packs and true duals. Gonna be fucking sweet.
That was like not my language. I didn't understand
well.
that.
You are just a waiter, sir.
Whole ass.
Well, I never said I was a mechanic.
You know, it's going to be loud and proud. You surely understand that. I'm going to replace the exhaust manifold with long tube headers.
Matt, I think whole ass might stick around for a while. That's pretty funny.
Whole ass, yeah.
But have
Whole
have
ass.
a nice loud exhaust on that motherfucker.
So we're gonna
British
buy
plug-in
Night
is like a-
Strike a Gimli axe and helmet, Matt.
Yeah, that was our thought was.
Oh, well, the fact that this hasn't been done already is just a shame. Because as soon as, like, the minute you said those words, Night Strike and Gimli axe and helmet, like, I was like, why hasn't this been done already?
Uh-huh.
The other thing we
That's
were
what I'm saying.
thinking was some sort of a gnome outfit.
Yeah, it
David
started
the
out at
gnome?
gnomes because we were trying to say what Duke did without saying what Duke did, and I said that Duke was a professional garden gnome, which is somewhat true.
I mean, you know.
Duke works long hours, and
He
he's got a fucking hard job. And I feel bad that we make fun of him for falling asleep on chats. But then again, I don't feel bad at all.
No, fuck him. He
Anything I
falls
do.
asleep on chats, fucking motherfucker.
I love him. I wish he would stay awake.
So what's been going on, homie? How you been tonight?
Oh, not too bad. Just finished watching a movie, so.
Oh, yeah, what'd you watch?
Got my wife to actually watch Moneyball for the first time, which I love.
That's
I love
a
this
good movie.
It's one of those movies like I don't give two shits about sports, right? But like sometimes a sports movie just is just good. And
I like
Moneyball is just a
baseball.
good movie.
In particular, quite a bit. If I was going to do something sports related, it'd be baseball-ish, and that was a good movie.
Yeah, no,
You
I
know what?
just think it's a really good movie.
Look at this, Matt. You know what it's not attached to yet?
The gun you don't have yet.
Dude, I went on this whole
because they
rant.
took a
earlier, and I
week to
won't go
ship
into it again, but there's this guy at the fucking gun shop who who makes me want to go find a new gun shop.
Is this the same dude that's fucked with you before in the past?
Yep. Thank you. You remember. Yes, the
I
same
do remember this
motherfucker.
shit.
And every time I call the shop, he's the one on the fucking phone. Of course. Yeah, I don't like this guy. And I want to fucking punch him in the dick every time I see him.
You absolutely should. I mean, but just record it so that we can all watch it when you punch him in the dick.
Yeah, and that way the recording can be played at your hearing.
Well, what will happen is this fucking guy will probably use lethal force because I try to punch him in the dick. You know what I mean? Like, it'll be my funeral.
Hey, from now on, instead of calling him Adam, just call him Yadam, and then think to yourself, yeah, you're dumb.
I should start a smear campaign where I have all of the subscribers from the show fucking call into a particular gun store and ask for Adam and tell him that he's a piece of shit.
All right, so where is this gun store?
Where did Adam touch you?
Gun shop, Denver.
I can't say online now because then it is actually harassment, so I won't do that.
Yeah. It is fun to occasionally harass, though.
Like, if you were to ambiguously say something along the lines of what I just said and then it happened, you have plausible deniability. Like, if they actually, like, did something legally against you, you would have the ability to fight it in court.
All right, the shootist gun range?
Yeah, that's it. Ask for Adam, I'm sure.
Gunsmith at large.
Adam who worked at the shootist gun range.
The outdoorsman's attic. Bighorn Firearms.
Gunslinger's Saloon.
I've been to the outdoorsman's attic. It's actually not a very cool gun shop. They've got a bunch of fucking. It looks like someone's attic, literally. Just like old shit covered in dust. That it's like, here's a sling for something. There's a holster for something that's been used a lot.
Black Canyon Customs.
Never been there before.
Green Mountain Guns. Arc Tactical. Blue Corps Shooting Center.
Blue Corps is nice.
Center Fire Guns. Okay, we're going with the shootist. It's the shootist. We're all going to call and harass the shoot.
I hope that there's a gun store in Colorado Springs that is like just P90s and MP5s and M9s.
I don't think
right next to Cheyenne Mountain. They only sell like green clothes.
There's a weed store right next to Cheyenne Mountain.
That would be fucking cool.
Like,
You get baked every day.
I want to drive up to it, like, because I don't know what the rules are in Colorado Springs, but I feel like when you're just outside of town, that's where all the weed stores are. So when you're like heading up the hill outside of the Springs, there's like 10 of them. But yeah, I don't know. I don't live in the Springs, so I don't know what their fucking rules are. Every fucking city has a different rule when it comes to the weed stores. It's weird. There's like dry counties and wet counties, but it's not dry and wet. It's like
Did you hear, speaking of weed, that one of the Supreme Court justices said something about federal legalization of weed?
No.
I think it was Clarence Thomas said something about the state of weed law and enforcement at a federal level in the United States is a joke or something like that.
I'm just happy that they finally fucking decided to do something that I thought that they should do in the first place, which was strike down the fucking vaccine mandate bullshit.
Yeah, that was nice.
Although, you know what's going to happen next? They're going to start doing it on a state level. So if you live in states like mine that are super lefty fucking insanity, you're going to get all the mandates. And if you live in a place like Florida or Texas where there's more sanity, not so much. And that's going to facilitate people moving across state lines again. You know, like I could see myself moving to a place like Texas because of things like mandates. If here I cannot have, I have to have a mandate and there I don't. Like that's the difference between having income and not, which makes the decision a lot easier, you know?
See, then you'd live in the same state as Matt and Derpy.
Derpy lives in Texas?
He's about to.
Yeah, I heard he was going to move. He was going to move to like Austin or something.
He's moving to San Antonio.
Oh, San Antonio, okay. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Same.
We've talked about this on the chat before, and like the fact that he thinks he's going to fit in Texas makes me laugh.
What if in 6 months, like Derpy's no longer the same Derpy? He's like some like fucking tobacco chewing hick.
He turns Chicano.
Chicano. Derpy's not just transgender; he's transracial.
Yep.
He's whatever he blends in wherever he goes. He's a chameleon. She's a chameleon.
Yeah, we've been misgendering her. I'm kind of fucked up though. Sorry about that.
I don't do that shit intentionally. I'm not doing it to like be a dick, you know. I think that's
it's hard when you're fucked up and the person that you're talking about you spoke of as a dude for a very long time.
Again, like if it's not something that's out of like I don't know, malice, you're not trying to piss someone off directly and you accidentally slip up and say something.
I got
it's
one.
like you need to not be upset about that, people. Sorry.
Remember the Saturday Night Live character Pat? Anybody got any like not trying
To this day, I still don't know what Pat is.
Yeah, thank you.
To this day, we don't know.
Damn it.
It's
knows.
Pat. Yeah, we still
That
don't know.
fucking voice was so annoying. Ugh.
I'm leaning towards girl, but I don't know.
I guess I don't know what its Pat is.
It was this androgynous character from fucking Saturday Night Live in the 90s that was intentionally created to be this character that nobody knew how to refer to them. It was like, he, she? Like, that was the joke. The joke was nobody knew whether or not Pat was a dude or a chick.
See,
Like, that was the entire joke of the skit. They even did a whole fucking It's Pat movie, which to this day, I don't know if I've ever actually seen it.
I have. It wasn't any good.
The power move, if you can't tell, is to hit on them. Let's see what happens.
Dude, did you see this one? The dad who fucking made the pedo who raped his daughter dig his own grave before murdering him, and well, I don't know if you call it.
That's
murder,
great, yeah.
but killing him and putting him in the hole that he made him dig. Fucking father of the year, man.
Honestly, if I were him and I did that, I would go to the judge and jury and just be like, "Yep, I did it. Nope, I do not plan to go to prison for it. Not guilty." See what they do.
I don't know. Like, I wouldn't say anything to. I would go straight to a fucking lawyer and be like, "Here's the truth, lawyer."
Man, if you made him dig his own grave, you're past that. You're on the mercy of whoever's on the fucking jury at that point.
Still, well, it's also what they can prove. And if you shut your mouth, maybe they can prove less.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe the Chewbacca defense is what you want to do. I'm not sure.
I think it's best if you were to do such things that no one ever knew they occurred.
The Chewbacca defense. Dude, this fucking chat thing is still frozen. Like, when I reloaded, it like caught up
froze
where
too.
it was at, but then it didn't load anything after that.
It's not just you. Mine's doing it now too.
Fucking hell, man.
Must be
Fucking
StreamYard.
hell. All right, well, here's the chat. Did I miss any super chats? I did! See, that's the problem.
You fucking faggots.
We have a question from like 30 minutes ago from Okie Precision. You can answer that.
Daniel says, my guess is Duke is a security guard?
No.
He's a garden gnome.
Garden gnome.
He is in the garden being a gnome.
He stands in a garden in a red hat and a blue thing and fucking gnomes. Like, I don't know what else you could think that is.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing this. This is stupid.
I don't get the point of the garden gnome. Are they supposed to do something or are they just decorative?
Let's look it up. What is the point of a garden gnome?
And if a billionaire really does pay Duke to just stand in his garden dressed as a gnome, that must be a pretty sweet gig.
Garden gnomes are known as symbols of good luck. Originally, gnomes were thought to provide protection, especially of buried treasure and minerals in the ground. They are still used today to watch over crops and livestock, often tucked into the rafters of a barn or placed in the garden. So they're just symbols.
So are we getting Night Strike a helmet and axe or a garden gnome costume?
Well, Night Strike will think we're sending him a dunce cap if we send him the gnome stuff.
You're right.
At least an axe, he'll be like, well, they gave me an axe, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bro, according to this book I'm reading, in 1996, from the fucking civilian marksmanship, you could get fucking M1 Garand for $165. But yet they're claiming 500 to 800 still for a survival rifle in 223 or 308.
1996, I was 14 years old.
I was 19.
Yeah, it's just a survival type. You know what I mean? Does anybody else have like survival books around they sometimes look at?
I probably should, but I don't. You've
This
got,
one
what is it? Strategic Relocation. Matt, that's a survival book, right?
This one's called Great Living
I don't-
in Grubby Time.
It'd be worth it to have like a book of like local plants and, you know, stuff that you can use locally for stuff. So if like shit went bad, you could go in your backyard and fucking figure something out.
Yeah, I
Because
think
there's like
people
certain
already have
herbs and
that.
stuff that like basically are like Tylenol. They reduce fever and pain. Or there's other stuff that like, you know, like you wouldn't think you could eat, but you can, or whatever it is, or mushrooms or whatever. I don't know. There's examples of things.
Oh yeah.
Which Halo is this?
2.
Halo 87. They should make a retro Halo game, like an 80s looking game somehow that is Halo. Call it Halo 87.
Everybody saw that I just died standing behind cover, right? Like,
Yeah, it was the arrows exploded, dude. Once they lodge in you, they wait for a second, then they explode and do more damage. Surprised you didn't know that.
I forgot. This is that Halo you were talking about the other night, Matt, huh?
The Needler.
Dude,
This
I only
is
got
old
fucking.
Halo.
You believe I only got 4 hours fucking sleep, and then I had to run that giant industrial saw all day, like I said. Like, damn it, why did I fucking stay up?
It's a good thing you still have your thumbs.
Oh, yeah, I'm a good worker.
I knew a guy in high school. It was junior high, actually, when I think about it. 8th grade. Cut off his thumb on a bandsaw in wood shop.
Jesus Christ.
Everyone freaked out. They had to put it in ice, take him to the hospital, sew it back on.
See, I don't get why they put fucking wood cutting bandsaws in a wood shop in high school, because you could put a metal cutting vertical bandsaw in there and it will cut whatever wood they need cut clean enough for a fucking high school project, and it like could cut a thumb off in like 20 minutes probably. I guess it depends on the bandsaw, but like most of them are nowhere near as vicious as wood saws.
Or like one of those circular saws, dude. That'll chew your thumb off in like a millisecond. My God, man.
That's half of why I use my porta band for everything in the shop, is because it's so fucking safe. Even if you slip up or some shit, like you could cut a pretty good gouge in your finger, but you would have to like continue to apply pressure for like several seconds to like cut something off.
The one I was talking about, it's an industrial-sized automatic fed bandsaw. So it'll literally like cycle and fucking shuttle metal, and it's pretty fucking cool. Very.
I like the one at Home Depot that they use. You're like, hey, I need this size by this size, and they've got this giant like wall saw thing. And they're like, okay, 8 feet, and then they just set it to 8 feet and run it across, and they're like, okay, by 6 feet, and they set it to 6 feet and run it across. Boom, done. There you go.
No, this is not that kind of saw. This is like a bandsaw.
Is it a vertical or horizontal bandsaw that you're running?
Horizontal.
So it's like one of those.
Like I said, it's freaking huge, like the size of a king size bed.
What size of blade is on it?
Oh no, I haven't replaced it. It's fucking huge. Like I said, it's the width, like literally the width of a king size bed.
Damn.
Motherfucker's amazing. It's got, like I said, it's got its own feeder and everything.
I bought one of those swag tables for the Milwaukee Porta Band, just to have stuff to cut around the shop or whatever with, and I was so blown away by it. It's like a fucking little lightsaber. Like, it's not made to cut through anything, but it cuts through anything.
This will cut through anything. This has a coolant, its own coolant system.
Yeah. When they're the big automated cooled ones, they'll cut even more shit than that.
And the key to working this: never reach into the fucking blade. Always wait.
Is it automated or do you run it?
But yeah, it's automated. So you gotta set it up. You gotta know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
But it's like anything else. Just fucking pay attention. Repeat back what you heard. Make sure you know what I'm saying, doing it right. Get that shit locked in and don't fuck it up.
God damn, those the Marshall fires in Colorado, the one that up in Boulder, could top $1 billion in damage. With a B, billion.
Wow.
That's a lot of money.
Wow, think of the price of lumber after that. Woohoo!
Well, there's just like 1,000 houses that burned down. No big deal.
Lumber's back down from what I understood. Is it not? Maybe that's just around here.
Down. Just wait until they rebuild those houses.
Well, that'd be locally probably more than anything, right?
I would think so.
I don't know, man. I'm not trying to build a house right now. It'd be cool.
I think it'd be cool. Expensive. I think it'd be cool to try to build something like completely off grid, no code, like you can do whatever the fuck you want, and like you're building like a self-powered into the world thing. But short of that, I'd rather just buy something, I think.
That's such a change of like lifestyle from what we're used to, though. I don't know
It is.
if I would deal with that well. Like maybe for like a month it would be fine, but if it's like this is your new existence,
This is why I don't live in an Earth ship. You know,
you no longer have contact with people who are not within shouting distance of you. You know, like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It would be cool to have some place like that to go and like spend a month or something, or even a couple weeks. Unplug.
Oh, I would love to do that, dude. Just like, where did Honda go for a month? To the woods.
Like have it where it's like you and your family with enough space where you don't have to see the rest of the family if you don't want to fucking see them.
Well, like my ex and I used to go camping together, right?
Yeah.
And like her deal was like, we got to go to this place or that place and see this view or that view. And I was always like, I don't care. I just want to be in the woods.
Yep, that's me too.
I just want to be in nature. I just want to be around the trees and by the water and, you know,
I want
to fish and make a fire.
I want to be someplace where I can shoot a gun and make a fire anywhere that I want without it being an issue.
Right. That's the kind of freedom that you don't have, especially when you live in a city, you know, like where I live. You can't just like I don't have a fireplace and I can't shoot a gun right now. So
it's not necessarily like I want to be able to shoot the gun wherever. It's like the amount of freedom that you have in being where you can do that, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I agree. 100%.
Also, I would probably shoot some guns in some random places because we would.
Hey, can you still hear me?
Sometimes it's nice to see if you can shoot a tree down with a gun.
Oh, all we brought was 500 rounds of 308. Can we shoot this tree down?
Turns out shotguns work pretty well for that because they just take chunks of tree out with each shot.
We spent $10,000 to not knock down that tree.
Mike, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I hit a button on my headset.
I mean, if you're shooting a tree down with 223, like, yeah, it's going to be.
It's going to take a while.
Maybe a saw with a 200 round length belt.
Even then, the 223 isn't going to do near enough damage to do anything quick.
Well, it does on the backside, but the front side just has little holes in it everywhere.
Yeah. You need the shotgun slugs.
Yeah. I think AK rounds would do pretty well.
I know 30-06 does pretty well. I shot trees with 30-06 a few times.
I don't know. I got to go up to a while back. There was like another big fire in Colorado that didn't burn down everyone's house, just burnt down like a fuck ton of forest. And like you go up there still, and it's all just like burnt down trees everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
Like new growth and stuff is happening, but like the forest is gone. And all of those trees have just like bullet holes like everywhere, dude.
The first time I ever shot a tree with a gun, I was really young, and I was like expecting all sorts of destruction. And it was like a 22, and you couldn't even tell it had been shot, basically, afterwards. And I was like, well, shit.
That's what I was going to say. Imagine how long it would take to cut the tree down just shooting 22 at it. It seems like it would take years to get it chopped down.
Well, this was like a full-size oak tree, too. So, like, it didn't even fucking notice being shot by a 22.
I can't wait till I get my fucking gun. God damn it. Matt's already bored with his SKS. He already forgot that he bought it. I don't
Done with his project.
I don't even have my Palmetto gun yet, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, fuck you too, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm interested in that 516 upper. Like I said, $485 for the upper.
Yeah, Matt, if you want a good AR cheap, he found a deal.
$900 in it. Yeah. The place has the word optics in the name, is what I was going to say. And it's a SIG 516 upper, so it's the piston upper, adjustable piston. It's got quad rail. It's only a 14.5 inch, so it's, pistol build, SBR build, or I'm going to pin and weld it is what I'm going to do. And yeah, it's going to be freaking pretty sweet. I'm going to get like one of those ASR Silencer Co. I can't decide, either a 3-prong flash hider or I may go ahead and order up one of the Lantac Dragon ASR mounts. That's really cool, and put that on there, because that thing, the Lantac Dragon, that's made to overcome like the impulse of an actual machine gun. So it's amazing to shoot those on semi-automatic firearms. I digress. Yeah, so 485, like I think it was 540 to begin with, but if you sign up for the it's like the tech, whatever you call it, to receive text from them, they'll give you another 10% off. So I put in the code for that, and it gave me 10% off and free shipping. So I got the upper for like 485, something like that. And I'm just gonna put some of those Daniel Defense stick sights on it. I'm gonna give me a Geisley Super 3-gun trigger for it. Like I said, I'm gonna get my suppressor mount pinned and welded on there. So that's gonna cost me like probably, if I go with that Lantac, it's like $100 and something bucks. And I gotta like pay my buddy to fucking weld that on, because I don't have my own welder. And they would really frown on that if I did that project at work. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Oh, I was gonna get a fucking Radian Weapons, one of the B5 stock systems lowers. I saw somebody had that for like $250 right now, primary, I think. And yeah, it should end up being like a pretty sweet fucking rifle when I'm done. Where I'm like, I'm happy that I got that, because they were claiming it's like a $1,200 upper, and it's like I said, you can get it for $485 right now, Matt. If you're interested in getting a SIG, like putting something together yourself that might be actually turn out pretty fucking cool. It's got quad rails. Did I say that?
Colostomy Bag says AKs do work well for trees. I bet they fucking do. Someone was saying they shot a fucking refrigerator in half.
Wow.
With a shotgun. Shotgun works best. It's Calhoun Republic. Sorry, I can't pull up the chats because fucking StreamYard's being GAY in the 1990s sense of the word.
Looks like my chat might be working. Where are you at? What's the last comment you see?
Men of Tupperware says, did you guys talk about all of the train car theft that's happening in LA and Chicago, flat screens and everything else being pulled off the cars? I saw videos of that. We hadn't talked about it. I mean, it's not surprising for fucking sure.
I think is interesting is based on the shit they're passing about going through people's financials for tax shit. If you make more than $600 a year or some shit, how do they think they're going to get away with that? Where you're going to fucking launder all that money? You're just going to sell it on the street for cash and then have bags of fucking cash? Like,
well, if you've been paying attention to recent events, you would know that on your tax return information, there is a slot for theft items. So if you have stolen something in the last year, you now can claim it on your taxes and not get in trouble from the IRS.
Really?
Yes, really.
Yeah, how many people are they going to catch with that bullshit? The FBI is like, thank you.
It's pretty fucking ridiculous, honestly.
That is ridiculous. Are so many people making their money from fucking crime that they want to tax the crime?
I mean, what are these people doing? They're stealing the stuff off the train cars and they go home and put it on eBay, or how does it work? Are you just you just got TVs everywhere in every room?
I think there's a bunch of hot shit on eBay all the time, and that's like the unwritten rule of fucking eBay.
Well, thankfully, most of the electronics are interchangeable and untraceable for the most part. I mean, there's usually a serial number on the back, and if you potentially you could get caught with stolen goods from buying stuff that's stolen off of eBay, but generally, even if it is stolen, it's like you're never gonna fucking.
If you bought it on eBay, you can bring that up in fucking court and win. Like, it may be stolen, but I bought it in good faith from this well-known, reputable website.
Well, okay, let's say I went online because I wanted a motorcycle, and I bought a motorcycle from a dude, and he was like, "Look, here's the deal. It doesn't have a title, but you can get the title if you go through this and da 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 da." Right? And I start going through the process of getting the title transferred to my name from not having a title. And in that process, they find out, hey, this motorcycle that you're trying to get titled in your name is actually stolen property. You don't get in trouble. You don't get your motorcycle.
Yeah.
You don't have your the money that you paid for the motorcycle to the guy who did steal it.
That
But
guy
it's not like you have like a court case to deal with now too. They just come and confiscate the bike or whatever.
Technically, the crime was just committed on you because you bought the bike and then.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are another victim. If they can try to find the guy that you got it from because you presumably have a phone number or something from the guy, but
Yeah.
But even then, like that guy could probably claim the same exact thing and it just goes up the line, I don't know. Selling stolen property is actually a crime. So never mind. It doesn't go up the line. The guy who sold stolen property, regardless if he knew it was stolen or not, I believe that is still a crime.
Sure.
I could be wrong on that, but I think that is the way that particular law is written.
Don't steal shit, okay?
I've seen in the chat, Corey Long said he was jealous of my reloading setup. I appreciate that, Corey. Fucking awesome, man. You should come back on the show. You should send Corey an invite.
Sure. Talk to me, Corey. I'll send you an invite. I don't care.
And
I've been watching this. I've been watching this trial. I forget the dude's name. Jesus Christ, I can't remember his name right now. Of this guy who was claiming to work for SpaceX and go to college and do all this stuff, and like was lying to his girlfriend and his parents and everybody. And then his parents found out that he wasn't going to college and that he didn't work for SpaceX. And he killed them with his SKS because he had an SKS and burnt their bodies in the fireplace to get rid of the evidence. And supposedly, I don't know if it's true or not. The joke is that he ate part of his parents. I can't remember this motherfucker's name. God damn it. But I've been watching the trial of what's been going on. And the state's going after him and leaving his girlfriend alone. But the thing is, like, some of the shit that she was involved with and the way that things were going, like, she was involved with the murder. They're just not going after her. Like, she was looking at houses that cost like $700,000 to, like, you don't have that kind of money. Neither one of you is working at it. Like, you're a barista or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be able to buy a $700,000 house unless your boyfriend's parents mysteriously die and you end up with the fucking the insurance payout. In which case, you could probably easily afford that place. I don't know. I just think she's guilty as fuck, but the state's not going after her.
I mean, maybe he was lying to her too about the SpaceX thing.
Well, that's the theory that's been put forward, but she helped him clean up blood.
Okay, then that's... I don't know. It depends on how much blood we're talking too. Were we talking like a couple drops of blood, or are we talking like a cup of blood? There's a huge difference in...
We're talking like you just killed your parents with an SKS amount of blood.
Yeah, that's probably like I said, cups of blood. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. They should be going after this bit. So
Daniel says a lot of new products, power tools, electronics, etc. common this year will require proof of purchase activation to work. Industry spending billions for it. So you're going to have some sort of a fucking like code or key to unlock your TV when you buy it. And, go online and register and okay, now my TV works. Like, that's a bitch, dude.
I need to buy another TV. I need to buy a small TV. I got a new Xbox recently, and my old one had went out, and somebody was gracious enough to send me a disk drive, and so I had the old Xbox repaired, and so now I need to get this fucking like a second TV so that I can fucking set up this other Xbox somewhere else in the house.
I've been thinking about getting like a 50-inch or maybe like a 40-inch, not a huge TV, but a good sized TV to put on the wall right there, so I can fucking lay in bed and fucking watch movies when I'm going to bed that aren't on this little fucking screen, but are actually up on the wall because it wouldn't take up any more space. And I could plug it directly into the computer and just run shit up through it. Then I'd have 3 monitors technically.
thinking I want a I don't know, maybe like a 30-inch screen or something like that for that Xbox. And I think I want to put it in the bedroom, and I'll only use it on a day that I'm not feeling well, and then like I'm in bed, and the only other option would be just like with my phone. Like everybody's been there in life, and this would be nice to have something else.
How is it having a
Like-
70-inch in your bedroom, Matt?
Bro,
There is no Matt,
That sounds
only
amazing.
Zool.
Only Zool. I bought Ghostbusters Afterlife. It was interesting.
What is that?
The new Ghostbusters movie with
Oh,
Ant-Man.
yeah. Is it good?
I liked it, but I don't think they should have made it. If that makes any sense.
who did you say was in it?
Ant-Man, what's his name? Paul
Oh,
Rudd.
okay. Yeah, I recognize that.
Like they
Did
did
anybody
some
see the-
shit at the end of the movie that it might be a spoiler, so I don't want to like say it and ruin it, but like I would not have done it. I thought it was in bad taste.
Did anybody see the?
Was it like the
new-
ghost of the dead Ghostbuster coming back in CGI form to say that he loves everybody?
Bingo!
Really?
Yes, you guessed it exactly. He never says anything, but like he shows up and like somehow like melds his estranged relationship with his daughter and the Ghostbusters and this kid.
I like
You
how
guessed
I
it
just,
almost exactly.
I just guessed pretty much what I thought would probably be the most offensive thing that you could do, that they probably would do.
Yeah. And like I cried a little bit seeing fucking Egon, and like I feel like I was manipulated a little bit into doing that. Like
So what's the theory? You like die and just become a ghost?
I guess
It's like you're a ghost now. Good luck.
it's like the Jedi.
Now wander the infinite universe for the
Telling people
eternity
your
of time.
wisdom.
Good luck to you.
Hey, did either of you see the new James Bond?
I have it, but I haven't watched it yet.
9.
I've seen it. Daniel Craig looked mighty weathered in this movie. Like I really felt like it was his last Bond.
It's not the years.
Isn't there like a girl Bond? Isn't that the deal now? There's like a girl 007.
There is. I did not enjoy that part of the storyline, but wasn't trying to be a hater.
I'm just sick of it. It's overplayed. They're like,
Yeah,
oh, well,
action
girls
parts.
can be heroes too. Now we're gonna make every movie from now on about a girl kicking everyone's ass. We're gonna make this like little 105-pound chick take on 290-pound dudes with flying fucking flipping jump kicks where her ass looks good, and she fucking like pops up with her makeup looking just perfect and her hair goes back into place, right? And like that's gonna be the image that we're gonna feed to these young girls. Hey, wait, why is everyone like switching genders and doing weird shit? Maybe because we can't figure it out either, and we're just fucking plugging shit in.
What if the bitch is like 7 feet tall or something? Do you have anything against Amazons or just the tiny women?
No, I'm just saying, like a 7-foot tall chick kicking ass would make more sense than a fucking like 5-foot tall 100-pound chick kicking ass. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I prefer one over the other. It's fine. You know, like I don't really care, I guess, when it comes down to it.
I'm
Like,
just
do
trying to
what
figure
you
out
wanna
if Honda's like wanting.
I'm
Death
not
by
necessarily
submission.
going to watch it, but I'm just saying, like, do whatever. Like, I'm not going to stop anybody from, you know, like, that's not my point.
I
there
do
was some-
enjoy female lead movies occasionally. Like I liked Atomic Blonde, and that's a movie you probably hated, but like it can be done well. It's not
I just
realistic.
miss movies like The Predator or fucking,
Predator is good.
I don't know, like, think of a movie from the 80s where, like, there was a dude who fucking had to figure shit out, you know?
You get the joke
First
of the
Blood.
Predator, right? It's a horror movie, and Arnold Schwarzenegger is the last girl. Like, think about it.
I always
Hey, he
loved
made
the
it out.
laugh.
It's
He
true.
made it out alive.
No, from Predator, the laugh is the best part. And then you got the Native American guy, and then the
Uh,
Predator fucking does the laugh. Yeah.
Jeez, you got a big pussy. Jeez, you got a big pussy.
It's the echo.
No, it was I'd like a little pussy. then she said it back to him, and he was like, "Why'd you say that?" And she said, "I didn't."
No, it was, geez, you got a big pussy.
No, there's two pussy jokes in the movie.
There were two. There was
I-
the one on the helicopter and the one on the ground. And we're talking about the one on the ground. The one on the helicopter was, "I'd like a little pussy," and she's like, "Yeah, I'd like a little pussy too. Mine's fucking as big as a house."
Oh my lord!
That's such a good movie.
I can't do the laugh good right now. Like, my throat's all fucked up.
That part,
No,
the
what I was
scene
gonna
where the
say
fucking
about the
Indian
bond.
guy fights the fucking alien on the log, they did that like that's another thing that they overdo these days, right? Like the Jaws part where you never see the fucking fish till the end,
Yeah.
right? Like that builds the suspense. Like the guy fighting the alien on the fucking log, and all you hear is a scream.
I have a belief
Your
in
imagination
movies.
almost fills in the blank better than
No,
the
the-
screen could.
I have a belief that in movies, less is more, especially when it comes to monster movies and scary shit. Like,
To some
if you
extent,
can
yeah.
see the shit, like, your imagination is way better.
Yeah, or
Blair Witch
Alien,
Project.
like the original Alien movie. You didn't
Oh,
see
Alien.
Alien very much.
Alien, what you did see scared the fuck out of you.
And yeah, and when you did finally see like little, yeah, exactly.
No, I'm saying Blair Witch Project. That's exactly what you guys are talking about. You didn't see shit, and even in the moment you saw shit at the very end of the movie, you still didn't see shit. You saw somebody turned around in a fucking corner, and then the camera fucking moved.
I never even watched that movie.
I didn't enjoy
I
that
saw it in
movie.
theaters as a kid. No, it was not good.
Like, everyone saw it in theaters around me, and they're like, "Oh, you got to watch it, Honda. You got to watch it." And I'm like, "Don't tell me what to do." And I just like never watched it.
I see that
You
being you.
didn't miss out at all. You were actually pretty good. I just told you what you missed. It was like an hour and a half of bullshit, like waiting for
They
something
run
to
around in
happen.
the woods, they get lost, a witch chases them, and then they all die.
Yep,
You
that's
never
what I
see
thought
any
happened.
of it.
Well, the thing was like, oh, this is it's like real footage from. That's
Yeah.
that's the gimmick, right?
Yeah, somebody
Like, well,
found
did
this
it
fucking
show
thing.
a witch? Was there some supernatural shit that fucking happened in this fucking movie that we got to? No, it was just like I don't know. Like, well, then I don't want to
Spooky
fucking see it.
bullshit.
And
There's
don't tell me
spooky
what to do.
bullshit.
Don't tell me what to do, Karen.
It had a couple of things in it that were very scary and kind of original, but they were like quick, cheap jump scares thrown into this like hour and a half long, unwatchable spinning camera through the woods.
How much did that movie cost them to make?
Not much. You
Yeah,
can
that's
tell
the other
because of the spinning camera through the woods.
They made a fuck ton of money on. Like, whatever they made was profit. Like,
Yeah. Well, that's the beauty of horror movies. This is why, in reality, like, we should all gather some funds and make a cheap fucking horror movie because, like, we could probably make a pretty decent one, and you could make a lot of money.
we'll make a gun guy horror movie where like the bad guys keep coming, or the like monsters or whatever, and the only thing that like fucking ends up damning us is that we don't have enough ammo.
You've seen the original Evil Dead, right? That movie
Yes.
made tons of money and launched Sam Raimi's career, and cost like I think $5,000 or something like that.
Yeah, it was like the cost of the camera and like the shotgun.
Hey, everybody's heard of the Scream movies. Have you looked into where the Scream movies, how they originated?
College campus film, probably. I'm guessing.
No, there is the story is that there was actually a fucking murderer that he, just like the movie, he just decided to go on a fucking wild murdering spree. But what is not represented in the movies is that apparently most of the people he fucking murdered were like beautiful women, and he left them all like fucking butt naked and like in fucked up positions, like people eating each other out and shit with like a severed head. Just so you could look that up. It's some fucked up shit. When I looked,
You know
into it,
that
I was
Long
like,
Island
bro, I
has
didn't-
a serial killer still on the loose who's been killing people for the past 20 years now,
God damn.
and they can't fucking get him.
I heard yesterday about a grinder serial killer that hunts gay men. I'm like, well, that's terrifying.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, though. Like, they stopped covering serial killers in the mainstream media back in like the late 70s, mid 70s, something like that. I wasn't alive yet, because basically what had happened was there were so many copycat killers of these serial, like they cover a serial killer, like the fucking zip tie strangler, right? And like this dude kept killing people with zip ties. That's not real, hopefully, but we're just using that as an example. And then they'd find all of these other crimes where people were killed with zip ties, but they know it wasn't the same guy because it was a different kind of zip tie, and every other time it was this kind, and like they didn't get this detail right, and the news didn't cover that, and that kind of thing. So they stopped covering these people because they didn't want the copycat murderers to happen anymore, right? Well, fast forward to today, every time you get a mass shooting, all over the news, constantly, crazy fucking amounts of mass shooting. And then you have these shootings at schools, and I think it's the exact same thing a lot of the time. Not every time.
I agree.
Like, I think Columbine, to some extent, was its own thing. Like those kids wrote, like especially the one guy, wrote books about how life is meaningless and everything is meaningless, and we're floating around on a speck inside of infinite space that's revolving around a burning fucking globe. Like, nothing you do matters. And moreover, I'm going to prove it. And here's how I'm going to prove it. And then they did what they did. Like, there was more to what they did than just a copycat murder, right? But the majority of them, I feel like, are just kids who were looking for attention with some sort of a psychosis that manifests as a serial killer if there's lots of serial killer news, or as a school shooter if there's lots of school shooter news. It just depends on what they're being fed. They're almost like fucking robots that could just be programmed to do whatever they fucking want them to do.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. We're heading to some scary shit, though. I'll tell you that, with all the January 6th investigations leading to fucking indictment or charges being filed against people for actual sedition, which has come out now.
Dude, right? We have never looked smarter than when we said that you should not go to shit like this. Just saying.
I was almost there that day. You know that.
I know. But like,
it was like a coin flip. It was literally like a coin flip as to whether I went on January 6th or whatever it was, the 20th, that I actually went.
I'm confused a little bit on the particulars on this one. Like, they're calling it an insurrection. I guess the thing I'm confused by is, so back in, like, I don't know, 16 or something like that, I went to a 2A Capitol rally, and it was in Jeff City. I never went in the Capitol because I was armed with a long gun at the time. And they said you could go in, but I believe that the whole premise was, obviously you couldn't go in armed with a long gun, and you could go in if you had like a concealed carry pistol, we'll say, on you, and it was actually concealed, and you had your license, that kind of thing. You could. That's what it was claimed outside. But I was smart and was like, bro, I'm just gonna stay out here on the sidewalk, and I stayed literally out on the edge of the property where, right there at the street with the other people that had signs and shit. And that's where I'm a bit confused, where it's like, well, would that have been an insurrection if people were going in the building armed, or is that like, how was that an insurrection, and the protest that I was talking about was not? You see what I mean? That's right.
Mr. F&H, you're confused because you have like a sense of logic and reason, and anyone who looked at what happened on January 6th would be like, what insurrection? But the left and the media basically think that those people knocked down that fence and broke in there with the intent to hang Nancy Pelosi by the fake gallows outside.
You're also confusing justice for political fucking persecution. Right?
Yeah.
Like, they're using the full power of the government because of politics to go after a certain group while looking the other way. Like, okay, look at the Trump inauguration and what happened in Washington, D.C. More windows were smashed, more people were hurt, more violence happened, more Capitol Police were hurt during the Trump inauguration than on January 6th, right? But that wasn't an insurrection because people were just upset, and it was, that's not an insurrection.
The thing that I will give them is that these people gave them everything they needed. The ones that are going to jail for a long time, like we're hitting cops and throwing fire extinguishers at cops and shit, and like, yeah, they're gonna fucking throw everything they can at you. Like, if you're gonna go and protest or whatever, you have to be smart enough not to like try to hit a cop or to fucking like walk onto fucking Capitol grounds or other shit. Like,
and I don't think that I would have done any. Like, if I had been there, right, on the 6th, I don't think I would have done any. Like, I wouldn't have gone inside the building because I've been like, that's a bad idea. And I certainly wouldn't have like hit a cop because I'm, like I'm not going to hit a cop. But just being there, some people are being charged. Like it's weird.
It's just outrageous.
Yeah. Gun Library Garrett dropped in $2 and said, "So what's the thing with Eternals?"
I watched the Eternals on Disney Plus, and that is a horrible, horrible movie. Like, it's the worst fucking Marvel movie I've ever seen.
I haven't seen it. I don't even know. Like, I know of the Eternals, but I don't know like who they are, what their powers are, what their fucking story is. Like, I don't know.
I can sum it up in five seconds. So, in Guardians of the Galaxy, there was the big purple dude that had the power stone that was killing that planet.
Mm-hmm.
That is a celestial. They are born in the cores of planets, and they're like festered into being by the consciousness of the life forms on the surface of the planet. So they need to develop in an Earth-like planet in order to be born. And those beings create stars. Well, in order to protect the life on the planet that festers the celestial to develop inside the planet, they have these beings called Eternals, which are basically robots. And they are the gods from Earth's history. There's Athena, Gilgamesh, fucking somebody else. I don't remember. But, like, they're a bunch of fucking half-wits with fucking superpowers that fight off these deviants that are, like, monsters that try to kill humanity. And that's all they do is they fight these fucking deviants. And, like, I don't know. Like, without you watching the movie, it's hard to explain why it's bad. But it's like the movie has no soul, and there's really no story that has any, what's the word? Weight or reality whatsoever, because it's like so ridiculous and about a god being born out of the core of the planet.
Dude, I would say most things coming out of Hollywood have no soul. They're just corporate fucking mashed together. Here's what the test group liked. Here's the words that we should use to not offend this group. Here's what we should have
all
for
I know
messaging. That's what they're about.
You could watch Guardians of the Galaxy or Thor Ragnarok, and those movies have soul and feel like a real, even like an independent movie in some ways. Whereas like this felt like I was watching cardboard or something. I don't know. It was really weird.
It's still bread and circus, though. Honestly, like that's what we're participating in, and to some extent, like you might as well enjoy it because then But if that's the problem, isn't us. The problem is the people who are so engrossed in the bread and circus that they miss reality. That they miss the things that are important that are happening around them that they should be paying attention to, but instead they're watching, the Super Bowl or whatever fucking sports game, or like they know every fucking character from every Marvel MCU and they've seen everything 15 times, but they don't even know who their senator is or whatever it is. Like those are the problem. I think that's where the problem comes in, is because the bread and circus takes over reality to the point where reality doesn't matter to those people, and then they're just taken out of the equation completely. And that's what they want. Like that's the point of it. So enjoy it, but don't let it fucking take over your life to where you miss what's actually happening. You should still take the time to fucking smell the roses, which is why I'm not saying don't watch, Marvel movies or whatever it is that interests you, but I am saying like don't let the roses become the fucking garden.
All I'm saying is that of the Marvel movies that I've seen, it was the most disappointing.
What's my least favorite Marvel movie?
Before this, mine was probably Iron Man 2.
Iron Man was a really good movie. I like that standalone.
I have a huge confession.
Captain Marvel, I didn't like.
Not actually into Marvel movies, and I think I've seen Iron Man 2, but I've never seen 3, and I've not seen really any of the other ones. There's 1 and 2.
I actually still need
I
to
think I
watch
saw part of
Ant-Man.
it.
I've never seen Ant-Man.
I saw part of
Ant-Man is really good, and it's a heist movie. You'd like it.
Yeah, I don't know. I 1 year for Christmas, I received a shitload of Marvel movies, and I don't know why I'm not into the franchise, so I've just not really caught up. But I've got like a bunch of them, like Doctor Strange, Iron Man 3, and a whole bunch of other shit.
Dude, your mic is like extra quiet.
It always is.
No. I'll change my headset. The other one was dead when I got on here. I'll be back in a moment. I'll be on a different headset.
I didn't like Black Panther. Honestly, everybody loved Black Panther.
I'm not gonna go there.
I'd have to point out the reasons why I don't like it as watching it while watching it. But
There are some criticisms you could make about Black Panther, but I think most of the people didn't make those criticisms because they didn't want to appear racist.
well, that's the era that we live in. Is you
Yep.
can't even point those things out.
Oh, there's definite
I
things
will
about
point
that
out
movie.
like the dancing around the fire and making gorilla noises part.
Yeah.
That was
Dances with Wolves.
no from Black Panther.
I was fucking with you. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I'm normal now.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen Black Panther. Like I said, I'm not a Marvel fan. Go on.
Black Panther has several moments in it where it's like if this movie was made by a white person, they would be being crucified right now.
Who was the director of Black Panther?
It was God, what's his name? The guy that made Fruitville Station, wasn't it? And Creed. Fuck. Give me a minute.
Joe Robert Cole. Who's the director? Plot, cast.
Ryan Coogler. That's it.
Ryan Coogler. Coogler.
Yeah. But
Coogler.
the thing with the gorilla masks in particular, where they're like grunting at each other, like that would go over so well.
You got time for show and tell?
It's like the only advanced country in Africa besides South Africa, which was colonized. Wait a minute.
Honda.
Yeah, I like that.
You got time for show and tell?
Yeah, just show it, dude.
Oh, I didn't know if you'd put me big screen. It's very tiny. It's the PSA AKP.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, got it. Sorry, I'm over here fucking breaking shit. So yeah, it's got the fucking SB3 or SBA3. Fucking check this out. This super like battle worn mag that I got. Fucking look at this weird shit on the bottom of the mag. Let's fucking get it into perspective here. See that shit?
Looks like a
some-
South Korean mag.
No. This is legit like some imported shit that I got from my buddy. Back when they used to import like parts kits and shit. But yeah, it's got a fucking ALG. Where is it at? There it is. It's got an ALG Defense
If
Ultimate
that's a
trigger in it.
legit import mag,
Yeah.
what is it? Black paint or what is the finish on it?
I don't know. Whatever the fuck it is, it's like super. It's smooth as fuck. Whatever the hell it is. It is so. Oops, sorry. It is so fucking worn.
Can you
I'm telling
run
you, it
the
is.
camera down the back of the spine?
Does that do anything?
I don't see any marks offhand.
No. It's just there's that fucking witness hole, and that's the only thing I see on it. It's got some
Probably-
stamping.
It looks
Some
like it could
stamping
be
here.
Romanian. A lot of
So
the
deep that
unmarked ones like
stamping
that.
is.
A lot of the unmarked ones like that are Romanian.
I don't know. Like I said, I always noticed that fucking weird Somebody
Yeah.
drew some shit on there. I don't know what that is, but it came with it like that. And I just always noticed that, like when I was
Somebody
going through
numbered
them,
the mag. Looks like.
it's a very smooth magazine, like I said. But anyway, I digress. So, this AKP is actually pretty fucking cool. And check it out. I've got a Vickers sling on it. I don't know if you saw that right there. I just got that. So that's pretty fucking cool. Although I don't like the fucking Vickers sling, I ended up having to do the Robsky paracord thing to it. Where, I don't know. But yeah, it comes with a booster, and I changed it out to the 74 brake, and it's like that really weird, it's like 24 by 1.5 right-hand thread or some shit. Like something totally strange. But yeah,
And
that's
I
all I
wish
was
I
gonna.
could show you guys my new gun that I got. Motherfucking goddamn it, dude! Fuck you, Adam.
I like it's got all the fucking Magpul furniture. It's got the cheese grater on it. This thing's pretty tactical out. You know what I'm saying? OD green brace. Yep, I'm pretty happy with it.
All right. Well, we've been going a little more than 3 hours now. I think it might be time to go ahead and shut it down. Again, tomorrow night we're going to be talking about some crazy shit going on and whatever else comes up. So if you guys have any conspiratorial current event type subjects that you want to talk about, be sure to bring yourself armed with that information tomorrow. We'll go over it. I hope everybody out there in internet land is having a good Saturday night. It's now Sunday morning, really. So, shalom, Feliz Navidad,
Penis.
adieu, adi to you and you and you. Goodbye, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. I hate to go and leave this awful sight. Wait, that's not the words. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. It's like a bunch of Swiss people getting away from the Nazis, right? That's what that movie
Yeah,
is.
there's Nazis in it.
Goddamn Nazi grasshopper.
Therefore, it's probably not allowed to be watched anymore.
Of course. Burn the books because we don't like Nazis. That's what we're doing.
Eventually, that'll be the thing because, like, we can't watch World War II movies anymore because the Nazis remind us too much of our own government, so they ban the Nazi movies.
Well, what is cancel culture?
Basically,
that's 2021 burning up 2022 burning books is cancel culture.
They're burning people though.
Well, you're burning fucking content, you're burning points of view, you're burning opinions, you're burning information is what you're doing, which is exactly the fucking point. But don't worry, you're not Nazis, it's all good. Have a good night.
It's okay. We're not all gonna die.
Yeah. Well, we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Peace out.